Describe this as, on the one hand, you have G2, the villains of Europe, and on the other hand, you have Falcons, the villains of Europe. So I'm wondering, like, whose hero are G2? Whose hero are Falcons? And for me, I think that everyone who is a young, up-and-coming Siege player that's maybe not played on day one, maybe they weren't a beta player, maybe they didn't touch the game in 2015, maybe they were born in 2007, like Stompin', you know, a decade after a lot of us who have been playing the game for a hell of a long time. I think G2 represents the new talent. With Stompin' on this roster, with all the changes that this team has made to their roster, their 5-man, over the last couple of years, that's who I think G2 are the heroes of.
I think it was an LMR tweet once they qualified for the grand finals last week saying, "This is the third era of G2, watch this." Something along those lines. Obviously referring to back in 2018-19 with that run, then with Fabian as coach in 2023 winning his side where LMR was also on that roster, and then this new era with young boy Stompin' having an incredible debut to his Pro League career. I mean, what was it? 5th highest rated player, I think. Ace dropped 20 kills against Falcons last time they played each other in the group stage. Like, he's had a phenomenal start. And it's funny because looking from the outside in, Stompin' doesn't fix the problems that G2 were presenting us with all of the last like year or two. But Stompin' joining G2 has seemingly just made everything else gel more together. And I think it was fresh to sit on the desk because like they're that brotherhood and they're a vibe team and they gotta check those vibes. When G2 right now are playing at the highest level they can do, they look absolutely unstoppable. They want to win this and become the best in Europe. They want to start their era. But Falcons, they finally have a big stake in front of them, right? They have stakes to play for. It's not some boring regular game of Siege to them. This game actually matters. That's when they turn up the best.
Well, if G2 are to have their third era, claim a third hammer, of course, step one is taking the crown of Europe away from Falcons and righting the wrongs of 2024, which was quite a tumultuous year for this roster, failing to qualify for EWC, failing to qualify for the Montreal Major, a very early exit from the Manchester Major. Not good enough. It was for G2 last year. Not even top 8 in Boston. It's time to kick off this year of EML with a crown. As we get into Cafe, it's Falcons on the defensive side, and they're the ones to lead the way with Alamau getting taken down very early. Where was that striker? Lurking in the building from up the brown stairs, perhaps? Caught out by Leakafag on the Valkyrie with no trade.
Yeah, we saw Laura on Twitch there looking for a lot of different utility pieces, but what he did not find was the Valkyrie camera instead of pillars. So I think Leakafag and Falcons, they have that full information play, keep killing drones, and G2 should now know Leakafag knows too much right now. There's gotta be a Valcam somewhere. Boogie Drone goes out, Stompin', watching the rotate. But Leakafag is one step ahead. Had the perfect timing, got to safety on the red stairs, and just now wasting Stompin's time saying, I'm not gonna peek it. I got my kill, I got my advantage. My team, we're chilling on the bump side. G2, problem-solving time.
Oh! A little bit of over-aggression as well on the red stairs. A lot of problems to solve. It's Stompin'. Boots in the building on the ramp. R4C, ACOG in hand. As the lion roars, Stompin' creeps forward. Oh, a great nade from Blaz. That's Shaiko getting injured. Second nade to confirm. Stompin' is in. He's found his pick. And he looks for more. Doki supporting as a player in backstore. Blaz has obliterated him. It's a great kickoff here for G2. They might have lost the first pick, but now they've found 3.
It's a beautiful top floor take. A grenade, a wrapper on in, and they just full sent it. The vibes are looking good right now for G2. 4v2, Leakafag still in that pillar position, has to get aggressive, has to get desperate. He's not on 1v4, as Bree falls Stompin' on the verge.
Oh, how they fall. Falcons completely picked apart. And frustration on the face of Shaiko. Perhaps boredom on the face of Stompin'. It was a stressful round at the start for G2, but then absolute composure. And a run-of-the-mill round for them. Picked apart one by one, Falcons fell. It was a bit of a pitiful defense after G2 started finding pick after pick. There was nothing for Falcons to do.
Falcons, they showed us earlier, all against Secret, that they have 2 modes today. The first one is where they play strategical, logical, step-by-step siege. Then they have the other mode, But our Falcons' only objective is to just fight their opponent, whether it's spawn peeking, jumping out, going for kills, never falling back essentially. And I think right now you gotta feel out what kind of team is G2, what kind of playstyle are they bringing themselves. Can we play slow against them and they'll be low on time, you know, they'll be struggling clearing the building, or will they be matching us in like that kind of aggressive gameplay where they're not afraid to take a fight? Oh, we saw it from Stumpin. Drops down the hatch, walks in Cigar, no fear in the world. They got the yellow pings, the drone, the lion scan, and they just push with that. Falcons need to figure out in the first 3 rounds right now what their game plan is going to be, then ban the final attack and operator, and then play that last half as good as they possibly can. Every round matters. We saw that in the group stage when we saw G2 against Falcons on bank. It goes all the way to max overtime, and I wouldn't be surprised if at least one of these 3 maps will go the distance as well.
Oh. Brito knows what's going on. As the Rayora blocks off VIP, this is not a strategy I've seen a lot of before. Teams are constantly figuring out the new way to use that Kiwi operator. Now they can isolate this player upstairs in Fireplace. Meanwhile, Alamau's on the side. Can the cover come from Stompin above? Indeed, Leakafak removed from that vertical position. G2 have lost bodies. It's a sneak in from Loira and a double kill! What we've come to expect from the Brazilian. Bride left alone, he takes out the American. It's just Loira and Blaz now as they try and piece this together, and Blaz has him locked on down from outside. Another textbook round from G2, a creative one. Players sent in all directions, and the pure talent means that they can split up and know full well each player will win their fights.
Falcons got their answer. What kind of style will G2 opt for? That's the style right there. 3 people working together on the VIP, bottom right area, Aura, Blitz, etc. That's the distraction. That's the big play that's investing a lot of utility. But you have 2 backstabbers. Stumpin top white stairs, finds the player on the hatch. Loira Nook sneaks into Bakery with the gadget on, can't be seen by the Valkyrie or default all bulletproof camera. He finds 2 kills right here. It only works because they're playing the operators that they are. It's fast, it's snappy, it's effective, and everyone knew where they had to be at what moment in the round. Stumpin, he finds himself in these very important positions more and more frequently as he's getting more reps in Pro League. I remember he's like one of his very debut games on Lair. He's standing in a corner, mute or smoke, holding a passive angle as one should. And it's like, where's that crazy gunner that we all heard so much about? And every single play day, I feel like we're seeing more and more confidence from Stumpin and more success in that exact position. Reading the situation well, playing offensive when he has to. The second you saw Brady had the shotgun and VIP, he was backing up, trying to create as much distance as possible, respecting the shotgun. Yes, he died, but he played as good as he could have.
I mean, we're lucky now to see this full form G2, but keep in mind, as the guys on the desk said, G2 are coming in to this match in a way cold. Falcons have played 5 matches so far already in the playoffs. They've won 4 of them. G2 have only played 2. We already mentioned that G2 got seeded into the upper semis already because of their performance in the round robin phase. Falcons did not. They had to make a lower bracket run. To think that Falcons have played already twice the number of games of G2. And yet G2 have been cooking in their time off.
Oh!
They have not been complacent, but that's a good nitro cell from Leakafak. Dangerously around the fire though, he dances. And a pick for Shaiko. As the Blitz is in the building, this is big from Laura. He likes to play it aggressive. He goes for the ADS. Leakafak, though, wins his. Another peek with the ADS. Doesn't work out this time for Loira, leaving Doki with it all to do. A 1 versus 5 and no diffuser to speak of. He will be picked apart. And Falcons, another sigh of relief for Bride. A flawless round to get their first on the board.
It's a flawless round, but you see how much they had to work for that and how many different gunfights could have gone the other way. Falcons are very well aware. They know they have to fight for every single second of the round. They're never going to be safe. They can't just sit down and have a breather. When the action starts, it does not end until either G2 wins the attacking round or Falcons shut them down trying. So now we got the read. Falcons have seen the textbook of G2. Now we see the final operator bans. We had Deimos, Dokkaebi, those very fast entry kind of operators that weakens individual players on the defense, followed by utility in the capital to clear the corners, go for rushes and executes. And then we see Asami and Castle. That means that you can hide behind any utility really on defense. They're very common to be banned on both Bank and Cafe. And then Valkyrie, League Effect's #1 operator, where he has all the information available to him. And with the Valkyrie being banned, G2 doesn't have to worry about bringing out the IQ every now and again to try and find those damn cameras. So now they get a more flexible attacking lineup. They can keep up whatever they want and not have to be forced into, hey, we gotta deal with the Valkyrie, we gotta deal with the Mirror, we gotta deal with the XYZ, and just have more freedom now to do whatever they want to do.
In theory, but you look at what Falcons have banned, and they've banned all of the operators that you would typically want to use in your little freedom kind of fifth man type strategy. You got your Deimos, insane fragger, insane for isolating roamers. You got your Dokkaebi, insane lurker, insane for both rushing and roam clearing. And you've got your Capital, that the epitome of an execute operator that can do area denial. You can even bring hard breach. You can smoke things up. You've got so much flexibility with that Capital. What does it leave? It leaves all the shields in, of course. It leaves all the hard breach. It leaves all the soft breach. And what it also seems to be leaving here that we're seeing picked quite a lot is the Nook here from Loira. We saw a successful sneak on the bakery previously. I want to know what he's able to achieve again, because as everyone's been talking about, Loira is having an insane season.
It's ironic because if you want to play the Nook with a high frequency, you almost want to leave the Valkyrie open so that you can just walk past the cameras. But of course, only Nook can do that, and there are 4 other attackers. So, but look at this. The Joey got the pre-fire. Loira has the info, takes down League Effect very early on.
Oh, say his name and wait for him to appear. There he is, like the boogeyman. The Brazilian is once again in the objective. He's found 2. As Falcons try to isolate him, they've got to be careful because Stompin's coming in from the backstab. It's a 3rd kill now for G2. As Shaiko finally finds the first for his team, but he is quickly dispatched with, it's time to die because Loira has come knocking. A 4K on the round for the Nook. You say his name and he springs into action.
It's ridiculous. The consistency of Loira this stage so far at making ridiculous plays, finding gaps, and not just getting 1 or 2 kills. He goes all the way. He finds everybody. They sent the whole squad trying to take him down. And the few, with the one person he didn't kill, was killed because of him indirectly, because they were worried about his positioning. Even the grenade he tossed almost took out Shaiko, forcing him into a corner, and then somebody else from G2 got the kill. He was a part of every single fight and every single member in that round. Solotov was fighting him, Shaiko was fighting him, then he kills Uses. He pretty much 1v5'd in a way in that round. It's ridiculous. And G2 are so good at utilizing that opening. The second Loira says, guys, I'm in, they all advance forward because they know either they're gonna arrive in time to help Loira, Loira will kill everybody, and even if Loira were to die, well, the defenders are looking the wrong way. They're looking everybody in one direction towards dining, that's where Loira is, so G2, they flank everywhere else. It's beautiful, it's perfect, and it all happened off a singular entry drone yellow ping that got Loira that first kill.
And this isn't your classic traditional cafe. This isn't your textbook, typical siege. This is an aggressive, a confident, a savage playstyle that G2 are bringing in right now. They want to enable their star players. They're doing it together, they're doing it split, but it's so complementary. And Falcons have no idea what to do about it.
I understand why. For starters, it's a very different playstyle than Secret, who they played earlier, and that can be... That can take a little bit of rounds to shake, of course. You gotta adapt to your new environment. But also, it's not very logical. If you're League Effect, I imagine he's a very logical kind of leader with how Falcons they play teams themselves. And whatever Loira is doing doesn't make sense at the time. Now, does this? LMR's in.
Oh my god.
Looking for the fight.
Big kills though, for Users. Out comes the shotgun. He finds another one! The dominoes fall for G2 for what feels like the first time. And Falcons are on track to find their 2nd round of defense. G2 have made a statement. It has been read this time. Users single-handedly putting the team on his back for this round. But regardless, G2 have really set the expectation here. It's go hard or go home. The only 2 rounds they've lost have been flawless for Falcons. And that does not mean it's been a walk in the park. No, it has been such a challenge for this mixed French roster. Look at them. Man, how do you deal with G2 throwing everything at you? Even though you've won 2 rounds, boy, you've been woken up more than an ice bath right now.
This is the beauty of the playstyle when you play very fast, is you win the round effortlessly, or you will look absolutely hopeless in the round, because if the first couple of people fall in the entry, there's no real backup, right? It's a one push go. And, you know, the Blitz got into Bakery, but 2 people died behind the Blitz. The Blitz dies while blinding the Legion. Like, the round is completely over from there on out. It feels like the rounds the Falcons have won so far, it's been by G2's, not choice, but by their doing. G2 opt to go for a rush play. Falcons in the right spot, they get the kills, they win the round. G2 have never looked like they've been playing, you know, on the back foot, where they've been struggling to get a job done. They are going, and then they are winning or they are losing. And that's a really good look, because Cafe attack inside, it's one of those. Some teams have a very difficult time with this, and some teams have an easy time with this. G2 are making it look easy, they're committing fully to their plays, and they've gotten 3 attacking rounds already. Even if Falcons wins this 3rd defensive round, G2 will take the even half happily, I would assume, and then they go on defense, they got their playbook for that. Then we gotta see how Falcons will boat when they go on the attacking side, which statistically has been the weakest side this stage so far.
G2 are the best attacking team in Europe, 59%. Team Secret is the 2nd best, and they're all the way down to 53. Almost all the teams in Europe are actually negative on their attacking win rate. Most teams are the better on defense, and Falcons are one team that stand head and shoulders above the rest on their defensive side at 65%. G2 is next best at 60%. And that really speaks to how much G2 are head and shoulders above the rest on attack, Falcons head and shoulders above the rest on defense.
Good nade. Shaco finds the opening onto Blast as Lion off the board now very early. That's gonna slow down G2 here. No Lion charges to push with. A man player down. ADS is countering the util dump here from Alamau. Nades are going out. The final one goes through, but Shaco finds a second onto Doki as well. Somebody stop this man. Oh, he's gonna take this round from G2.
Shaco's having a Shaco round. He's started to figure out, oh, so they're just gonna run at me. They're just gonna peek me, so I just peek them back with no fear. But guess what? Loira and Stompin are still alive. So there's plenty of fragging capability here. Stompin with the Finker. He's just baiting for kills at the moment. It's time to go fishing if you're a G2 fan.
Yeah. Get out the fishing rod, put on the bait, and hope that Falcon, they take a bite, because right now they aren't. Actually, they run out.
Oh, okay.
It's a trade though, 1-for-1, so successful from League. In fact, risky play, but I'll say it pays off. The less attackers, the less they can do, and you still got 4 teammates, and now you're just watching cameras permanently.
Yeah, it's worth it, especially to take down Loira. You know, Alamau, a great player, but he's not been the core fragger at the moment for this G2 roster. He's been the caller and the enabler. He's playing a lot of blitz and a lot of these operators where he's the instrument that the attack uses rather than the one that's going to be finding those kills. Loira, on the flip side, he's the one that you want to frag out. Thought Stompin didn't realize for a second that Usus was upstairs. I thought Stompin was fresh meat, but no, he finds it. 2v3 is very winnable, especially if Alamau can get off the donut. Stompin's found a triple. Watch out. The new kill on the block is going to make a difference. There's an EDD on that doorway. The Kapkan traps could be the bane of G2. If they're not careful, Solotov. Oh, don't dance around this with Stompin because he's on a heater. He's found a 4K. Alamau to go in, he needs to refrag, and he does. Off the donut, onto the breadstick for Alamau, and a massive clutch up for G2.
A 5 versus 3, a 4 versus 2, a Stompin sprinting down long bar with no care in the world because he saw one defender drop down the laundry hatch thinking they're not going to be upstairs anymore, and somehow wins the first gunfight, finds the second, the third, the fourth, goes all the way through, and in the end, plays the perfect bait game for Alamau, who found the final yet the most important kill to secure G2, the 4-2 half. Now that's value. That's Stompin putting himself again in those high-risk situations 4 separate times and coming out victorious each and every single one as a rookie against Falcons. It's ridiculous.
Look at this. I thought he was done for.
He should have been done for, right?
It's just incessant. Oh, hipfire headshot while dropping onto Shaiko. That's one way to get bodied.
Reloading!
And another kill. Solotov, he didn't know where to play. He was playing an off angle. He was playing aggressively. He second-guessed himself. He retreated to his demise. And here we see the cracks start to form for Falcons. Look at the frustration on Leakafac's face. We've seen Leakafac frustrated before. To be frank, it's not an uncommon sight. When Falcons start to struggle, you really see it on Leakafac's face first.
Yeah.
And then he starts to get loud, and then the team starts to hear it. And if you've seen them play in person, you'll know what that's like. We've seen infamous tactical timeouts taken by Falcons. We've seen clips of Leakafac biting his teammates' heads off. We've seen it work as well, Peter. We've seen Leakafac able to actually demonstrate these leadership qualities and bring the team back from a position where they've looked like they were mentally checked out. 2-4 on your defensive side, when you're the best defensive team in the league, when you're on Cafe.
Yeah.
That's not a good look. We need the leadership to start making a difference here for Falcons. We need them to turn this around.
But Leakafac is the exact kind of leader and motivator that you'd want a team. He cares. He's only emotional about these things because he cares and he puts in so much himself. I think the entire last year when Falcons were BDS, making all the grand finals and losing, it seemed like a mental boom in the grand finals. One bad map and they can't quite shake the mentality of things. I will say earlier today against Secret, oh, that's a lucky drone, they were falling behind, but they weren't looking mentally chalked out. They were actually having a quote-unquote subpar performance. They fixed it mid-map and they come back. Whereas the Falcons of the past, they would fall behind and the map is just kind of done for. So I feel like given the earlier series against Secret, they have fixed their mental. They've completely improved it. A jump of Metal takes down Brede though. Cooking that grenade does not work out for him. And with that, a lot of the util is done. They bought so many frag grenades, yet they found zero value with them.
They even brought the Twitch to take down those ADSs, which was successful, but they couldn't find those frag kills.
Grenades.
Only one nade left, and they haven't found a frag kill whatsoever. Loitera's found his shot, though. Good headshot with that Vector. Oh, he's in second. Users has invited himself into the building and found a kill, but Loira, he's hungry for more. Out comes that Vector again. Another kill for Loira. He's hit 9. Leakafac now in a 1v4. Doki will shut him out of it. It's the first round of defense, and it's divisive and decisive for G2. They're up 5-2 on the scoreboard, and Cafe is pretty much over in a flash.
They brought 8.
Oh,
there it is.
Look at him. Look at him.
He's going.
Here it comes.
Their very famous tactical timeout with Leakafac Hope Core that was also in Cafe. We're saying, do you guys want to push White or Lumba? And he's explaining how they lost a reading attack. That was a reading attack. Although they lost it in a very different way this time. They brought 8 frag grenades. They're playing from the cocktail window repels, white stairs. They're just tossing out utility. The nades found nothing. They got no advantage with any of the grenades, none of the utility. This was the counterplay. Spacebar, left click, round this over strategically. Loira retakes cocktail and finds 3 kills. And he does this all the damn time and looks so easy. Please, guys, please.
Please. You can hear it. I mean, if images speak words, when you see Leakafac's hands come together to pray like that, you see the way he's talking to Steve. He's saying, guys, please listen to me. I'm telling you what we need to do. Please do it this time. There's only 2 more rounds of leverage here. There's only 2 more of leeway. G2 on the verge of taking the first map decisively. That sets the tone for the series. Falcons want a rematch of the 15-round bank that we saw in the round-robin phase. And if they get decimated on Cafe, it's not going to be an 8-7, and it's not going to look good for Falcons.
I like the switch up. Leakafac on the Blackbeard, get a bit of coverage for his brain to make the best decisions possible and lead his team into the building safely. That's the big thing right now. Falcons are not able to gain a foothold on their entry. They die early in the round. G2 are rushing almost every attack, so they are winning or losing very quickly. Falcons, it's a bit more of a slow bleed, right? One thing goes wrong, second thing goes wrong, third thing goes wrong. It's kind of cooked. And it goes out. No real entry, but downwards there, Shaiko has dropped, tracking the Warden of Doki, stops it, and is trying to look for the target inside Piano here. A 50-50 gunfight for the opening kill.
He's not got the best gun to work with as well. This AK, very slow rate of fire. He needs to land the timing. He gets it. Well played. Out dual stomping, supported by his teammate on the rappel. And this is what we needed to see from Falcons. This is what Leaguefac has been pleading his team to do. Work together. Isolate. Obstacle. Solution. One by one.
It's a good mini play. Leaguefac tossed in a grenade, forcing Stumble to turn his back to sprint away. That's when Shaiko swung. That's a smart play. Now, that's step one. They gotta look in the second one. Get cocktail control. That's the drop from Scarlet right here.
This is how we take him down. Pistol in. Multiple players on the angles. The second one for Usus as well. Going deep for Loira. No opportunity to escape for G2. And finally, the reprisal here. Blaz, though, does find an aggressive entry. Maybe, just maybe. There's still legs in this round. If we see clutch potential, if we see the true quality of players like Blaz and Doki in this round.
Time to slow it down for G2. Trying to play the corners and play the rack game, but Falcons, they're disciplined. They're gonna drone it out, take their time. They have 5 drones left, as well as the Blackbeard and Deimos tracker.
Oh.
You can't hide from that. You simply cannot.
Let's try. Walk straight past that drone, and you're right. There's so much info here for Falcons.
Yeah, they know.
G2 like to play fast, and that means Falcons are happy to play slow when they've got the advantage on their side. G2 can't keep forcing the issue forever. It's one, and then a trade on site for Blaz, and the round is over. Finally, the bleeding has stopped, at least for now. It's more of a bandage than a cure. There's a lot of work to be done here for Falcons. That is just the start, the first step of many required to push Cafe to be competitive.
But I really like what they were showing, right? It was very methodical, very step-by-step. Leaguefac taking full control of every single movement in that round. He called when the nade was coming, when Shaiko was swinging, when you're dropping Skylight, because the Skylight drop wasn't a random timing. They dropped the Skylight and grenaded the player by the rotate. The same time, Leaguefac pushed in Bathroom, and you see right here, Leaguefac gets the kill. He went Bathroom into Freezer into top white, and they played together. That's because they get the timing, because Leaguefac's words are being listened to, and they are working together, all 5 people. G2, they will have to work through the bomb sites here. They started reading, they went mining, now they're going kitchen. And kitchen bomb site, in my mind, is probably the most sketchy bomb site on Cafe for the defenders, because strategically, you don't have a lot of different win conditions. Okay, you can try and win on plant deny, like Echo, Valkyrie, Smoke, Goyo for example. This will only really work if the attackers are going very slow. So if Falcons do a fast roam clear, and they can start doing the vertical destruction, you know, etc., get map control, plant deny isn't really gonna work. But the thing about this bomb site is that you don't have a lot of other options. Roaming is very difficult because you can't get back to the bomb site because all you got are 3 staircases, which attackers can see from outside the building. And then you have a hatch, which ideally you want to reinforce to stop the attackers from getting there. Or you open it yourself, and then you can try and drop down mid-round. So really, you don't have a lot of things you can do in this round, but G2, they gotta try and find an angle somewhere to gain an advantage.
Next try.
Here's an aggressive angle.
Tap, tap.
Yeah. So fascinating to see the difference in the attacks from these two teams. G2 were already blitzed in Bakery at this time on their attack of this bomb
The round was
side.
over last time.
Yeah.
At this point, G2 had lost.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. You win quick or lose quick. That's the G2 attack way at the moment. That's the personality they want to inject into their gameplay. It's their play style. Falcons, on the other hand, much more slow and steady.
Yeah.
The Twitch is getting good value. Solotov, he's calling what he's seeing. We know that Solotov is a very vocal member of this roster. For a long time, people just thought he was a fragger, and my God, what a fragger he was on the old M&M roster. Such a star player. One of the few players that we've seen out of Turkey at the top level as well. But he's doing so much of the calling here. He's telling everyone what he sees with the Twitch. He's now lost both of his drones, though. So he's got to get active.
The benefit of losing that, as you said, he gets active, he becomes an injury player. Nothing to lose now, and Leaguefac has been looking for that gap, creating... What? Oh, they trade! Good shot from Doki and Usus. That means Doki can watch cameras the entire time now. Nuke, Leaguefac might get more value from this death, as Doki will call, hey, this area is clear, when in fact it might not be.
Oh no, stomping! This is the bane of G2 at the moment. They love to play fast, they love to get active. If Falcons slow right down, G2 will just feed them freebies. Loira now, once again called upon to clutch up, to have a main character moment. With his ACOG on the Vector, he's set up perfectly to do that. There There are 2 players about to enter Bakery. He's just around the corner from them. Sees the first one, but he doesn't find either. Falcons continuing to exude patience. And now it's a 4v1 with just the team's captain to try and duel all of Falcons. He's found his first. As the plan's going down, he is cut off and cut deep. Falcons are finally finding their footing here on the attack as 2 rounds in a row gets them closer to tying the score.
It's a little bit awkward once G2 starts losing man count early in the round, because the only thing they can really do to try and get it back is to re-aggress with more people after the first person dies. And Falcons, again, showing very disciplined level of Rainbow Six Siege. They're holding angles, they're double droning, and they're not exposing people in that many 1v1 engagements. Yes, the first kill between Users and Doki, that was an aggressive angle, right? Users holding wedding flank, Doki peeks it, they're both saying, you know what, we're gonna take the 50-50, and they trade. It's an even outcome. But when you lose a defender, you are losing an area of the map that is no longer being watched. Combine that with the fact that the dead players watching the echo drones saying, guys, no one's red stairs, because they had an echo drone in the hallway right above leak effect essentially. So Stumpin walks by thinking it's clear. Guess what? It wasn't. And once you're in that 3 versus 4, all you can do with the rest of G2 is try and go for a kill, go fishing like Laura tried and failed, because guess what? They had 3 people waiting for him. 1 in wedding by the single window, 1 guy outside Baker double door, 1 guy in Baker double door, just waiting for him to make that exact play to get the free kill. G2 has now called the tactical timeout. It's time to figure out how they're gonna get those final 2 rounds since the side swap.
That's the thing. I mean, G2, they're playing such an exciting game, right? They're playing so aggressively, and it catches Falcons off guard at the start. We see a lot of those really quick takes. I mean, of the first 4 rounds that were played on the attack of G2, playing really pacey, they won 3 out of 4. Right? They win spectacularly or they lose spectacularly. Now flip onto the defense, and the same thing can be said as well. They're re-peeking, they're retaking, they're getting aggressive, they're taking a lot of 5s. Loira got a 3K, G2 won their first defensive round. The problem is, they need variety, right? The Siege is about it is a game of figuring out what your opponent is doing and then adapting to it. It's exactly what Falcons have done. It didn't take them very long, actually. They realized, hold on, guys, G2 is just throwing bodies. So why don't we let them throw bodies? Why don't we wait for them to give us freebies? And it's worked 2 rounds in a row now for Falcons, and they've been 2 pretty decisive rounds, Pengus.
10 seconds remaining.
Falcons have had 3 players alive at the end of the round, twice in a row now. That was not what we were talking about at all in the first half. No, they were getting completely bodied. G2 now need to change their pace, but they need to do it in an unpredictable way. You can't just always go past it.
Yeah.
You have to keep the variety there.
That is perhaps the one thing they've been missing, right? Very fast attacks, pretty fast defenses. They haven't gone fast, slow, and keeping Falcons guessing. It's been, okay guys, G2 playing this way, let's make a counter and just do that until they will switch it up themselves. This lineup doesn't really feel all that different to me. This is a lineup that can take a lot of fights, right? Mossy, Scopos, Jaeger, Uni Frost. A lot of passive utility that you place down with good weapons, high rate of fire, and you can kind of throw your body away and you don't lose much in your pockets. The only thing to lose here is 2 impacts from Loira and then Doki, C4, and Mossy. Anything else is purely passive. Nate goes out. The Yesus doesn't catch it, I believe, and that's an aggressive swing.
Yeah, very, I mean, a swing. It was a lie-down prone underneath the window with a tiny crack in the window and try and find a kill looking directly upwards. It's a miracle that it worked, to be honest. Solitas was even a little bit clued in and almost landed the angle. Doki's lucky to have found that kill. Wow, the timing there for Shaiko. Doki's now found a second one. I don't know what angle that was. Perhaps up all the way to the skylight, perhaps onto the new balcony rappel. But it certainly changed pace, and Falcons changed their pace as well. Usus jumps straight on inside and finds a kill here on the Sens. He is to try and find this next player. It is Stompin. The plan's going down here. This is a very unusual round here. Falcons have met pace here for G2. Shaiko goes down, and now plant confirmed. Falcons need to assume safe post-plant positions. There aren't many available. G2 are circling these 3 remaining defenders. All aspects of the bomb site. Which corners are they coming from? From where will they pop up their heads? We know that they'll do it together. That's what we come to expect out of them. And Blaz is the first one to find it. Uses now in a 1v2. He knows where Stompin is, but he doesn't know about Doki. He tries to overthink it, and he loses his life. A good retake for G2. They recompose on the back of the tactical. They're back in the game, and they've got map point before them.
Not sure if intended play by G2 or not, but if it was, it is absolutely genius. Doki was flanking red stairs into Cigar, and he got hit by the air jab while the plant was going down. And G2 had a yellow ping and red ping on that position, so they knew the plant was going down. When the air jab hits Doki, the entirety of G2, they freeze. No one is peeking anything. They're waiting for Doki to get into a better position, not be air jabbed. They pretty much let Falcons plant successfully for free to play a 3v2 retake. Because what could have happened is that if the rest of G2 push forward while Doki's air jabbed and they lose the gunfight, the bomb will go down, they're gonna be in a 2v2 or a 1v2 against them, and the bomb is successful. That means that post plant in a 1v1, 1v2 for G2, almost impossible. So they just kept their numbers, waited, and it went together.
That's right. And the way that you can lose Cafe on a retake, right? If the attack has enough players to go back to the roof, right? It's basically a done deal. Unless if you have bodies to throw. Unless if you can have one person defusing with 1 or 2 players peeking Skylight. That's why G2 knew we have to keep all our bodies alive, let that plant go down, go for a retake. And what's even better for them is Falcons didn't have time to get anyone back to the roof.
Yeah.
Now Falcons have taken their tactical timeout because they don't have any more second chances. They're 2 rounds behind. They need 2 defenses in a row, rather 2 attacks in a row, I should say, to push us into overtime. And I don't think G2 is going to make that easy. Of course, they've had time in that tactical pause to cook up what they want to do in this next round, and it is a complete change of pace, Pengu. This is not the aggressive, we're going to roam, we're going to frag, we're going to get in your face G2 that we've seen for 10 rounds in a row. This is Smoke, Echo, Tubarao, and Kaid. Even Goyo, you could say, I mean, he's got a license to go kill, but his utility is about, okay, let's play the late round, right? Let's have this util, and if Falcons don't deal with it, my God, they're in for a treat come the last 30 seconds of the round.
It's all good and well on the operator lineup side of things, but what we gotta see from G2 now is the individual player decisions matching their operator lineup and strategy. If you're playing this defensive lineup and you're taking aggressive window swings and jumping out windows or looking for a fight, then you're playing the wrong operators for the round, or you're playing the wrong playstyle for the operators. So I want to see them fully commit to this, like on their attack. When it's fast, it's fast. When it's slow, it's slow. This has to be a slow round for G2, where Falcons have to problem solve various things in this one, and they got a really good lineup. Doki was hiding the Kaid and prep the entire round, not being seen by drones. He can now trick walls and or the hatch. Once Falcons realize that, it could be too little too late in the round, depending on when they figure that out. And they're gonna go for full roam clear as they should, right? They have the tools for, I'm not gonna say a ton of verticality, but they got some on the Ace, you got the soft breaching charges, secondary shotgun from the Grim, they got Shaiko DMR on the Lion, but they also have the potential to just go for a horizontal take. They could just send it here if they wanted to.
I don't think if they go for a full map clear, into vert, into execute, into all this utility, they're gonna lose. They're not gonna have enough time.
Work. But the thing is, I'm not sure how much they know about this setup. It's still the VIP player. That's the first trouble for them right now. And again, same Twitch turn as last time. Clears the Goyo, get some info. That's a Ecotron. Where'd it go?
Was that a yokai you just saw?
Yep, it's gone.
Battlebots. No, the value needs to come out from the Twitch. I'm not sure if that was Solotov's first or second Twitch drone, but we need to see the value come out. He needs to clear as much of the Vulcan canisters. Ideally, one of the yokais if possible.
Same take as last time.
Potential vert coming through. Loira gets aggressive though, takes down Solotov. That was outside the window. Going deep for users. It's desperate and it doesn't work. Falcons 1 by 1 will fall. 1v4 for Leakafak. He's got closet control, but that's all he's got, and he's been put down. Loira going nuclear with the Vector, and G2 with a dominant statement made on Cafe. It's a 7-4 victory to kick off the grand final. 7-4 does not tell the story of how dominant a lot of those rounds were for G2.
It doesn't, and to be honest, I have, you know, a little bit of hope still for Falcons actually, because I feel like this best of 3 right now is about adapting to what's happening. Now G2 have shown their hand on Cafe. If we're going with the assumption they're gonna keep a similar kind of pace here in Bank, Falcons just have to have spent the last 15 minutes talking about how they can play against that specific playstyle, and then they're gonna be fine. Bank, of course, is a different map than Cafe, so the dynamics will change a little bit, but G2, they're hungry, and they're definitely playing to win, there's no doubt about it. It's a bit of like the new guard versus old guard in some way, not that G2 has a bunch of rookies, because they don't, you know, they have some SI winners on there, but G2 has not been a quote-unquote top team for quite some time, whereas Falcons, they've been the team to beat.
Yeah, I mean, if you look historically, even in the last 2 years, right? So let's go back to 2023. Stage 1 in Europe, second place finish for G2. In Europe specifically, Copenhagen, top 8. They went to G8, top 8 again. And then stage 2 in Europe, they dropped all the way down to 7th, 8th place. Atlanta, top 4, that was good. That was a highlight. SI24, top 4, that was a highlight as well. But still, back in Europe, stage 1, 2024, 5th place. Manchester, early exit. EWC, didn't qualify. Stage 2, right down again. Looking really pitiful. And then Montreal didn't qualify. And then SI25, not even top 8, right? Rio, not even top 8. It's been a hell of a long time since we've seen G2 up in the top 4, let alone the top 2 within Europe, and a long time since we've seen them even in the top 8 of an international event. This is, as Alamau put it, the third era of G2, and the next chance for them to become a world-class team once again. They looked like it on Cafe, there's no doubt about it. They really looked like it. They reminded us of a peak Brazilian team with that aggressive play style, and they've got 2 Brazilians on that roster. They've got a lot of young talent as well on Stompin. Let's see what they can do here on Bank, which is Falcons' map pick.
2 Brazilian players and 2 Brazilian coach support staff as well in Ramalho and Cameraman. I mean, they got the Brazilian vibes there for sure. And they're ahead of the curve, so it's a good region to look towards for inspiration. And then take your own flair into the things. Operator bans, G2 they took away the Ace as well as the Monty, so a lot of stability and common operators there being removed from action. Falcons took the Mira and Tuberal, affecting a couple different bomb sites. The Mira especially strong on top floor for janitors, etc. And of course the Tuberal, generally speaking, for stalling things out, the hatches, and it buys you a bit more time on those basement attacks. An easier way to deal with a kite if it's brought, of course.
Nades being used for Vert here. That's very uncommon from Leakafac on the IQ.
Gotta do.
There's a lot of map to clear here. Yeah, I guess you do. And there are a surplus of nades. We've got 4 here, and they're not instrumental to this round necessarily. You know what would be nice, though, is getting that Twitch drone in there and taking out some of these Yokai drones. That would be of extremely high value. Come late round, G2 are able to deny that plant with... Oh, watch out. Hold that thought for a second, because it's not late round yet, and Stompin's actually looking for an early pick. Meanwhile, Doki finds one. Wow, peeking straight into the fire for Solotov. He still finds the kill. And the round has looked decisively in favor of Falcons so far. Only Leakafac has fallen. Stompin still on his roam.
He's staying strong for now. Challenging Shaco while being tracked confidently. Somehow making this work. Shaco shot from the behind. The flank works out. Not sure who shot him exactly, but actually I don't think anybody knows. There we go. Alamau by the lobby desk has rotated on over. Falcons gonna skip they're gonna skip the roamers. They're gonna go bomb side.
No. It might just work. Stompin, though, has found Shaiko. What's Stompin able to do on his flank? 20 seconds to play. As Alamau makes his way downstairs, they know exactly where he is. And he's found his kill! That could be the decisive moment in this round in favor of G2. Is Stompin able to get back into it? No, he is not. Bride cuts him on down. A flashbang to go out, try and suppress Alamau for a brief moment. Solotov has the favored angle. There is no way that Alamau gets past this, and it's on lock from the Turk. It's a beautiful end to a very scary round for Falcons. They looked at control at the start, but it did slip away as they approached that bomb site. G2 put up a bit more of a fight than they expected.
And it's just a good read from Falcons, right? Really good shot calling. They recognize, hey, Alamau got injured by somebody who's not Stompin, Deletion, in open area, kitchen. And they also knew exactly what Stompin was. That means only one person could be by the bomb site. If you walk down main stairs, then drop the hatch or push server, you're likely gonna take down that one anchor. And that means that you get bomb site control for a plan attempt, forcing the last 2 defenders back down the staircase or back down the hatch, which is not a very good spot to be in because of the sound cues and the time it takes to get back there. It's a good read from Falcons. They control the pace. They weren't fast in the building, weren't fast into a gunfight, but when they first started having that engagement, they got two kills very easily in that round. And with that, a lot of map control, right? Bank is a very big map, very open, whereas Cafe is a lot smaller and much more compact. When you lose a defending operator, you lose a lot of map control, and with that also a lot of information. Unless you're playing Valkyrie or Echo or a ton of bulletproof cameras, you only really have intel where you are as the player. You can't be everywhere. So Falcons, we saw the nuke being brought up by both teams on Cafe. I wouldn't be surprised if nuke makes a return here from one of these teams at some point in this map.
Oh, Solotov thought he had Claymores there for a second. It's been a long time since we've needed to claim all these windows, but after that Clash jump out that we saw in APL, I think teams are maybe starting to think maybe we should claim more up these windows again.
Yeah, it's one of those like Siege X comes out. Jumping out windows kind of sucks. You're forced to hip fire. But then when someone makes the play work, it's like, okay, back to bringing Claymores. No Clash this time.
This is a good play. League of Fac has used his pocket EMPs to enable a breach on the Kanto wall, and he is so close to finding a kill. There's someone inside of elevator, and while he stands in the barbed wire, he won't take damage, he won't make noise until he starts to move on up. He does, he times it to perfection. He does get traded, but you could argue that that's worthwhile. That's a really key position. Dismantled. Falcons don't have to worry about that elevator anymore.
It's a good position to clear for Falcons, yes, but also look at the cost. The Capitao with full util in pocket dies, a very high value operator. But look at the rest of the lineup. Who is not valuable right now? Flores soft droning, Grim Bees, Ash soft breaching, the only hard breaching operator of the Hibana. If it was someone to do that play, it probably would be League of Fac. But now, the other benefit is League of Fac can perfectly IGL from the player point of view cams. You can just call, guys, do this, go here, and orchestrate this from the grave. It's still a very even one. Mid and 20 to go. 4-4. Falcons mostly on the exterior rappel with 3 people.
I'm reloading.
The G2 are not sweating right now. They're just waiting. Falcons need to figure out how they're going to get their boots into this bomb site and start isolating these players. Is it going to be plan-focused? Is it going to be kill-focused?
Knock, knock.
There's still castle barricades that haven't been dismantled and are likely not going to be dismantled. Ooh, another duel. How are they going to kill these players in janitor? They're kind of just waiting for them to swing. There's not a lot of hard pressure, and with Doki finding one and then being traded, it doesn't really help the Falcons' case much at all.
They're locked out. It's a hard one. Users has now left that parking rappel, rotating over to try and help. Shaiko 1 HP. Brede stuck outside. I mean, they got 1 Grim B to go, some flashbangs, and then they got a 3-2-1 full send commit.
Oh, it's just desperate now. Users goes in. He needs to find his kill. He does. But Blaz goes down. 2v2. Brede and Users. They need to find another kill before they can safely plan, and the cover might be on.
He lives.
Loira almost takes him down. Deagle out. In hand. So low HP is Brede. Alamau's got this nitro cell, and Loira finds both with the Deeg. That's what we've come to expect from this guy. Nuclear performance on map 1. Another big showing from him. He's really coming to his own. His honeymoon season here. And it doesn't seem to be a honeymoon phase, though. He's been so good for such a long time. And that was a good finish of the round. G2 looked a little bit on the ropes for a second.
Probably the slowest round so far as well. I mean, it came down to practically 0 seconds, and yeah, this first engagement happened in the first minute. But after that, big stall, Falcons not able to problem solve, and I do think in hindsight, they probably wish they had the Capitao, because that is probably the best operator in bank to clear out janitors from the window rappels. You shoot above the reinforced one janitors, you shoot the counter fire arrow in there, and it spreads by the reinforcement. Combine that with the fact that you have 3 people on the window rappel of CEO, Shaiko in top heaven, he can then hold the cross as well. That janitor player's gotta be dead. Or at the very least, they drop the hatch to get out of there and it's clear. Then you can rappel on in, but they never cleared that position because they couldn't.
10 seconds to go.
So small things, very small things. G2 now fortifying upstairs. It's an open area bomb site defense. However, it's all about map control. Yes, the bomb site knows an open area, but you want to hold top floor for as long as possible, then fall back and play, on the first floor and play on the basement staircases. So again, for Falcons, the objective here is don't go too slow to the point where you're going to be forced into a bomb site rush with 10 seconds left, but also don't go too fast where you die early. It's the fine balance in the middle. Blaz loses a duel down to 1 HP, but he is alive for now.
He is going to have to snake out of here. He managed to run. Okay, G2, what have you got cooked for us here? Out comes more. Breach onto Can, so you can see G2 is still trying to contest that. Couple of shots peppered users' way. You mentioned the Nook before. Have a look at Lurky Leakafak as he drones himself ahead in lobby.
Yep. I love that nickname for him, the Lurky Leakafak.
It just feels so appropriate.
It is super appropriate, and yeah, the Nook comes into action. Curious if G2 will be expecting it or looking out for it because it was played on Cafe. And it's excellent, especially when you have the Valkyrie, because again, you're gonna have a camera somewhere and say, guys, it is clear. Guys, it is clear. It is not.
Oh, here we go.
Once again finds the opening, takes down the Valkyrie player of Doki.
Yeah, Leakafak is right on the money here. And now he can just lock down this area. Loira, of course, is just waiting to see if Leakafak bites off a little bit more than he can chew. Oh, he might find it here. Oh, what? Alamau found the kill vertically from above. Apparently. Oh no, sorry. He
pushed on in.
Through archives.
I didn't see him there.
I don't know how they had that read, but they knew exactly where he was, and they completely deleted him. Credit to G2 though. Notice the way that Loira and Alamau actually pushed that together. It's another one of the fundamentals that just makes this team a cut above the rest.
They are down in numbers still in Falcons. They're going to do the same thing as on Cafe. They're going to stabilize. They're going to reset this round, get their flying drones, hold their angles, and scout out the landscape. Leafag again, like before, first guy to die, watching cams, watching player point of views, trying to get this piece together. We got Solotov inside of lobby ATMs, trying to retake that Archives Tiller's position, but it's risky. If he walks in alone and he dies, that could be the first piece of how this round could go the wrong way for Falcons. But they gotta fight for map control, they have no other choice.
Time is ticking away though. Doesn't matter if you've got a player advantage, if you can't capitalize on that. Stomp it down on the floor. Good kill as well. It's all up to Alamau now, and they know exactly where he is. He should be locked out. They should be able to force down this plan. Time is ticking. Solotov falls, but Bride is forcing that plan. As the captain makes his way back to the ship, he is completely cut down. Shaiko, a shot through the wall. And Falcons are looking solid. They stabilize, and they're back into it.
It's all about problem solving right now, and when they can get the areas that they want, the Falcons look mighty good. G2 has been in this awkward position twice now where they have one or two defenders alive in kind of awkward positions off the bomb site, like Alamau on that 1 versus 3. He can't get back to the site. There's just no way. So he's locked out, having to retake. Falcons are planting. They're doing a good job at tracking the locations of the roamers and saying, we don't care about that roamer, but we do care about this roamer. Let's kill this person and ignore the other guy. They're trying to get the highest value targets dealt with first, like this engagement here. Yeah, it's so frustrating, right? I had a cam in lobby. I had a cam. It was cleared. Oh, it wasn't a nuke. And it's that kind of false sense of safety that you're taking away from someone. Like when we saw on Cafe Stompin sprinting top floor, false sense of safety, right? He thought top floor was clear. He sprints around, somehow gets a kill because of it. Whereas if he had thought there was a guy top floor and he played that entirely differently, maybe he dies. Now your false sense of safety is completely gone, and you have to double think every single camera. It sucks. Even if it's just nuke for one round, it can have a very long-lasting effect.
Last time these teams played each other on Bank, I mean, I know how much you love that Tachenko. But last time we saw these teams go head-to-head on Bank, of course, it was that infamous 8-7 where Stompin hit the 20 bomb. He's certainly not on his way there at the moment, 0-3. But of course, G2 started on that defensive side in that matchup as well. In the first 4 rounds, they went up 3-1. So Falcons are already exceeding what happened previously. They're looking a lot more organized. You can see why they wanted to have the rematch here on Bank. They've been working on it in the downtime. It's been a little bit since they played that match. That was 12 days ago. Falcons has clearly done a lot of work. Look what can happen in 12 days when you're scrimming almost every single match, every single day.
I would like to call this the humble Stompin. This is him giving Falcons a chance here on Bank, okay? That's what it is, teams. It's a deliberate plan.
So when he didn't give them a chance, it still went to 8-7?
Yeah, but they won. That's all that matters. No one remembers the scoreline, but people remember the winning.
I think everybody remembers that scoreline.
Okay, maybe in that one. It was very, a lot of crazy things happened, to be fair. But typically people don't go back and go, remember that time and he was like 8-7?
People always remember the scoreline. Like your, by the way, that was cheeky. Your infamous comeback with Pensa against EG. Everyone remembers that scoreline.
Okay, what was the scoreline?
3-2.
What was the scoreline?
3-2.
That's the map line, not the scoreline. What was the round count on coastline?
You know, it was a best of one on coastline. I just remember the round count on coastline.
Exactly.
With you guys versus
you
Empire.
remember the moment and the winner, not even the round count of how you won. My point is.
I remember that Canadian was not an SI champion that year.
That's foul. It's been a bit of a YouTube clear here for Falcons. That's why we had time to kind of troll around a bit, because nothing is really happening. G2 opting for hatch deny. It worked out for a bit, denying Brede. I think 6 X-Kairos, 2 for the Runegate, and 4 for the kite charge. But here goes the last bit on the server default plant position. The Twitch drone finding good value from Solotov, taking out 2 Goyo canisters, I believe. Yeah. And this buys Falcons time for a we might actually win this round situation. But then look, 3 Toxic Babes, 16 fires from the Tashanga. A default plant spot here should not be possible. They gotta either get kills or plant in a different position.
The thing is, while that Tachanka is laying down his fire, he's not got his gun up. So they might be able to go for a drop, some kind of way to backstab while the so-called default plant is happening. And as you said that, there are players lurking on the main stairs. I don't think anyone from G2 is looking for a flank at the moment. The fire goes out now from Usus. Main stairs flank is being watched by Leakavac. He sees the Kaid at the back of side. That's a good angle though. Deep from Doki. Traded back, but he's done a lot of damage. Solotov now has to replace the player planning the diffuser. Alamau might be able to get into position. He almost sees the angle. He takes out the player above the hatch. Alamau's going nuclear. Solotov gets the plant down. It's a 1v2 for him. He's got the health advantage, but he gets swung again. It's Alamau firing up back into action for G2.
He finally shows up. The captain been locked out in so many rounds, being the last alive away from the bomb site, having to retake an unwinnable round. This time, when his team needs him the most, he calls. He answers rather to the call, gets the guy on the hatch, walks in, catches the guy dropping, and gets the guy, of course, trying to run away in the 1v2. Solotov. It's so close, and it comes down to smart use of utility. The caps of fire went out towards Stumbin's position as the Tachanka. He was unable to use the fire to deny the planter. Then, that's when Falcons, they aggress. They get the kills that they need, then they reset the round again. They hold passive angles, and they try and go for a plant one more time. This time it works out, but Alamau, the man of the hour, clutches up.
And this might be an even scoreline, but Pengu Falcons have been the better team as a unit, right? G2 have been crunching on hero plays, but another way to say that is they've been leveraging those hero plays. First round, Alamau gets a 3K. Second round, Loira gets a 3K. Fourth round, just that one gone by, Alamau another big 3K. A huge moment. G2, they know they're a team of star players, and they're going to play into that. They know that. They're happy for people to take the low percentage fights if they need to, because they trust that it's never over until it's over.
Also worth noting, last round you were saying how when you use the Tachanka gadget, you don't have a gun up.
Loading mag.
Loira, I believe, on Smoke actually used his Toxic Babes much quicker than what you would expect. Likely to, 1, deny a bunch of different positions, but also 2, to have one more gun actively holding an angle. Stumbin's sole purpose in that round was to use the gadget and deny the plan for as long as possible. Yes, he might be 0-4 right now, but he's doing his job. He's playing the role for the team successfully. That's important to note right now. You can be 0-4 with no value, or 0-4 with some value, or high value in this case.
Knock, knock.
And that's the story of G2, isn't it? Any of these players could be on the Ash, first in the building, going for an entry. Any of these players could be chained to Echo or Tachanka on site.
Maybe not Doki.
And forced to do the work. Yeah, okay, maybe not Doki. He gets a pass because he's Scottish. Meanwhile, I think Shaiko actually, fell off the roof. That is, my God, that is like such a rookie. Oh, that was the Yokai drone.
That was the Yokai drone.
That's a hell of a lot of value out of one Twitch drone. But yeah, unfortunately, Shaiko, a bit embarrassing. That was caught in 4K.
He did face calm as well when it happened. It was like, oh no, it's happened. Roof can be slippery, man. Gotta watch out when you're up there doing constructive work or watching your angles from long lines of sight, but Shaiko previously on his attack was the sole player inside of top square. If he goes in that area again with 20 health, yes, he has a DMR, yes, he has a great shot, but one single strafe body shot and this guy will be injured or killed. So that's not ideal. Good bit of value again, finding the mute jammers. They might try to use the Skyros now from uses to breach Janitor's wall if he rotates on over. Right now using drones on the rappel outside the garage. Falcons still just outside setting up.
There's a lot of value that they've done in that setup time. And even just Leakafac's Twitch drones alone have done a lot.
He's
Leakafac's actually inside. I don't know how he managed it, but he snuck in on the rappel somehow.
Going live.
And he's so close to finding that kill. There's a player just on the other side of this doorway. He lands the shots on Doki. Hungry for more. He knows he's seen this player position before. He sees him behind the desk. 2 for Leakafac. Still, he's hungry. Almost a third, but taken down by Alamout. Not out as of yet. He can still scout for information. Almost a trade there. Users had the money shot, couldn't land it. 30 seconds to play. G2 holding the line.
Going for the rest. G2 knows.
Oh, this C4 could be big though. Does confirm that kill on Leakafac, but hasn't found the second one as of yet. Jumps over. And that's too much. Too ambitious for Alamout. Loira against the world.
Oh my
Can he
God.
find the 1v3 that's needed? It comes down to a 1v2. Loira just jiggling the angle. Solotov with the pistol. He locks it in for Falcons. And they are continuing to fight. They take the lead once again.
A little bit too close for comfort there. It looks so good for Falcons to start things off. Leakafac 2K, only player inside the building, by the way. Peak the third got injured. Nino is about rescuing the captain, getting him back up on his feet, and then going for an execute, using numbers advantage. But you see how tricky it is when you have 2 people on the rappel trying to go on in, and Loira just picks them off absolutely for free. They can't really fight back in that position. Back and forth we go, bouncing these rounds. 1 for Falcons, 1 for G2, 2 for Falcons, 2 for G2. No one taking any significant lead so far in Bank. That top 4 bomb set, man, it's so hard to play, especially when Falcons spent the Asami previously, giving you even less areas to cover, less areas to play from. Gotta say, nice try here for Loira, but he's stuck in the corner.
Yeah. Couldn't back out, couldn't cross over. He landed a couple of gnarly shots, but too much to land 5.
Initiate jammer.
5 seconds left before
Now
insertion.
G2, last round of defense. What have they got to cook? Last time these teams played each other on this map, it was a 3-3 split. Can they do that again?
I did give a 3-3 here. But with Falcons and how they've been playing so far, I feel like a 4-2 is almost more likely. Last time G2 did an open area, didn't really go all that well for them. They died early on the roam. There was Leakafac lurking around the lot with the nuke, finding a pick onto Doki, and things just kind of escalated from there. This time, different lineup from Falcons. Breedy on an execute operator in the Ying. Not really playing any real hard breach. In fact, double checking here, no hard breach at all from Falcons. So I don't think they're gonna play the map control top floor. They want something else to happen here.
Flash set.
What is the play here from Brede on that Ying? Some kind of bait and switch here from Falcons.
Yeah. Not sure, actually. Right now, just doing like split pressure, right? Swords of CEO window, Shaiko in square, Candela on the side to threaten the rush. Now it's out of stock. I think Breedy's trying to like buy distraction time right now and make G2 make a move, over rotate, give up space for free. Like Shaiko's in square right now. If he holds the angle towards Loira here, he might just find a freebie. Instead of track him something into Castle. Castle, who's actually playing top floor elevator. Right there, hiding, waiting.
Oh, here we go. Entry from Solotov on CEO. Repels inside, taken down, but not out as of yet. Meanwhile, Leakafac's found his. Where was Stomper? Perhaps over-peeking at the bottom of square. Shaiko still holding his position at top square. Falcons are continuing to wait and bait. Look for picks for G2.
I think Leakafac might go on this one. The last Candela can, of course, mask the sound on the jump in, or bait the guy jumping down the hatch. Perfectly.
Oh, he finds it. Well read, well executed from Falcons. And G2 have to reposition now. They still have presence on the top floor. It is Alamau, and Doki's found one. Getting aggressive down at the bottom of square. They know exactly when to poke for a pick. They know exactly when to play passive. Fortunately, Doki goes down. On the top floor, though, Alamau has stolen the show. It's now a 1v2 for him on the top floor. Blaz is so far away from being able to support. Uses a couple of shots, peppered, but it doesn't get the player who has dropped downstairs. 25 seconds, desperation now for Falcons. Got a lot of options. Shaiko finds his pick. Alamau's found 2 already in the round. He needs 2 more. Where are Shaiko and Users? With time ticking away from them, User swings him. Shaiko's pretty happy about that one. It's a 4-2 split for Falcons.
It's ridiculous how they get it. Shaiko, I think he tanked like 6 different Legion ghoul mines and did most of the damage to his health bar. He drops the hatch 1 HP, gets the first kill in the 2v2 to open things up. G2 not having the crossfire there to assist Alamau on the hatch drop doesn't stop Falcons from dropping the hatch themselves. They're not playing in kitchen either. That was the big gap there to me. If G2 can hold the hatch drops when they know diffusers in janitors and Alamau is getting fought by 2 separate attackers, the only fast play Falcons can make is dropping down that hatch immediately. And I don't think G2 were expecting that kind of fast pace, given how Falcons have been relatively slow so far here in Bank, and they're playing similarly slow on Cafe. But Falcons did go incredibly quickly, trying to catch G2 by surprise. Great bunch of mini plays there as well, Falcons. Problem solving, how to get a couple of different kills. The Incadilla, the hatch drop, getting that pick. No heartbeats, by the way. Every single kill here just happened with the sole factor of playing together and making these mini plays happen on the attacking side. Now we get the side swap. Falcons on defense. They're banning Deimos and the Dokubi. Same exact thing as before on Cafe. And G2 opting for the Asami and the Kaid.
I'm looking back at what was banned last time around, so Falcons, yeah, okay, it's quite a difference between what happened 12 days ago when these teams played on Bang. Okay. Falcons actually went full hard breach counters. They banned out Ace and Hibana for their 3rd. They went with Monty. That said, G2 have actually more or less done the same thing. Last time they banned Azami and Mira and followed up with a Kaid. This time they're doing Azami and Kaid. Perhaps the Mira will appear later. Mira actually not picked here though. For Falcons.
Are heading out to the
hasn't even been played by either team a whole lot. Less than I thought it would be. Not gonna lie. I mean,
if I'm not wrong, we saw a bit of Mira on G2 on Cafe.
Trying to rewire my brain. I was gonna say, I don't think we did at all.
Yeah, you're right. It was the Vector of Goyo that was present pretty much every single round that we saw a lot of.
Ah, those duplicated weapons, man.
Yeah. Do love that.
Drone going out.
I mean, this here could be good. And the mouse on Monty's can be a bit of a menace to stop. Just walks in like he owns the place. If the other guy drops down, Doki holding the angle, but there's 2 people, 1 to his right, 1 to his left. Doesn't know about the second player. He has no idea.
He's gonna get killed. It's a good crossfire. And immediately they drop downstairs after finding that kill. It's a big pick as well. Question mark from Shaiko. Damn. Insulting. It's a bit cheeky from Shaiko. You should have seen his reaction on the face cams after that round. Wow. I mean, Alamau knows that C4 down to a T. As soon as he heard the rip, he goes and hides. G2, a player down, but they've made good progress. A minute 45. They're opening up these hatches. They've got map control.
Playing on that Doki, though. Losing a bit of utility in the frag grenades and just simply... The fragging potential of the Finka, the passive healing against the Shanka fire, the Goyo fire, but so good to have right now. G2 are playing pure can openers. 2 sets. Stomach has 1 spare in pocket, but it's a problem. There are 2 walls that are reinforced in server. But a single can opener to go, only 1 wall can open up. Good Twitch value. But again, if they can only get 1 of the walls, can they cover the right angles here? They're actually gonna go for the empty default wall, I call this one, the deep server wall. This could be a cheeky multi-plan turn the shield, 1 person covering Stomach behind him, and just, you know, go for a Hail Mary. That's where Tashanka comes in. Tashanka is a problem, and I don't think they have what it takes to clear out the shield because the ADS is stacked in red. This is a problem. Oh, the nade missed. Oh, it hit the pillar.
It went pretty deep, you're right. Didn't quite go deep enough. Here comes the Tachanka, and as you said, it's going to burn that time away from G2 on that attack. Look at Alamal's HP. It's whittling down. A spray through the smoke from the Warden of Users. Stompin's out of it. Desperation now for G2. They need to get active. Leakafax found his flank as well. It's so over. Falcons have won the first half, and it looks like they're winning the second at the moment. They're looking so confident on this defensive side. It's G2 who are floundering. Laz can't even find Leakafax retaking above. A consolation pick for Alamal. He barely needs it. 13 kills. Ineffectual. A nice try indeed. But Falcons have flown away with a 5-2 lead.
G2 not having necessarily the right amount of utility to get the job done that round, but more importantly, I think it boils down to just losing Doki early. It sucks because they thought there was one person in open area, so Doki doesn't necessarily like make a misplay. It's just there was one player unaccounted for. He walks in, he dies for nothing. Had they had the finger, the extra set of grenades, and just the manpower and having Doki alive, that could have been a complete different round because the shield that Tachanka is playing behind would likely have been destroyed by the nade. We can also go back and say, oh, if only the first nade didn't miss, right? But it's one of those, sometimes that happens. If you had a second grenade, you know, you get a second try, didn't have it. But it is very tiny things that are separating the winners from the losers in these rounds. And it goes to show how closely matched they are and why previously it was a max overtime game of Bank.
Wall is done.
I want to see, longevity-wise, what kind of strategy to bring in here on Bank. On Cafe, they showed us very fast, very eager to get into a fight and get in the building. That first attack around, it was very similar. But as I said before, Bank is a much more open map. So many different rat corners and hiding positions and areas to clear, unlike Cafe. So just walking in the building like Doki did can be punished very easily. They gotta get back on their drones and use the shield to go in first and clear those corners, then enable the players behind the information, not in front of the information, because then you die before you know what's happening.
Now, a long way to go for G2 here. Show us some of that gusto that we saw on Cafe. Aggressive executes, aggressive attacks. Give Alamal the Ash license. How about that? He's feeling confident. He's 13 kills. He's going deep. He sees the Scopos. Takes down the shell. But I think, yeah, that player had actually teleported away. No, he was just hidden in the corner that whole time. The Solotov re-peeks it. That must be frustrating for Alamal. He took down the inactive shell, not realizing that there was actually a player right next to him.
That whole sequence looks so weird to me. Because I thought Alamal was getting shot at, and he realized, and he looked back pre-fired, but maybe he thought he dropped the hatch. I'm not entirely certain. Either way,
was this free kill?
Yeah, that's a complete freebie. The nuke is paying off for both teams here. It gets a second as well. That's why you want Doki alive. That's the kind of player he is. He finds those kills out of nowhere and puts G2 back into a very winnable round position.
Oh, the timing! Winnable turns into dominant here for G2, 4v2. Brede on the side. What can he do? Wait, patience is a virtue for him. If he thinks that he can move out and just find one sneaky pick and then fall back, it's worth it. The Users is way offside. The problem is if Brede falls, that's the round done. That's over. Because G2 can flood the side. Users faking that he can go back to side. He eventually does. His teammate's been traded on. And Stompin to find the final kill, G2. A bit more of what we needed to see from them. A third round on the board. And maybe that deficit that they face doesn't seem quite so bad now.
Oh, if you want to be like really nitpicky, the only kind of problem in that round is that they kind of win it off an individual heroic play from Doki, right? Like that 2K really changed things around because all of a sudden Falcons, they're in a hurry to rotate into a better position. That's how Scopus dies after. So it's like, okay, I can't get the hatch anymore because Doki's below me. I gotta try and get out of the elevator somehow right now, or we might lose the round. But in trying to run away, he dies as well. So this one kill turns into 3 kills within 10 or so seconds. He's here. Oh, my team needs me. I'm running. I'm dead.
Yeah.
So from a 4 versus 5 to a 4 versus 2, just like that.
You say that that round really hinged on an individual play, but that's kind of G2 for you. You know, that's what happened on map number 1. Stompin had a 4K, Laura had a big 3K. That said, the asterisk there is, a lot of the time, these one individual plays are complemented by other G2 players. And the perfect example of that is what you just highlighted, right? Yes, Doki found a 2K from inside of Archives, and then he allowed the Hibana to find a kill from the rappel. He enabled that kill, right? So while it is an individual play, there is a flow-on effect between the way that G2 position themselves as a roster. They play off each other very well.
Now we're cooking though. I like this, right? The glass, the blitz, the ying. We've seen G2 back in 2023 with that roster at SI go for this kind of take where you rush janitors with the blitz, you go into repels with the glass, and you pick things apart. But Loira off pace play here just finds the gap, gets shot down. That could have worked.
Cautious. They seemed a bit suspicious. Both Brede and Shaiko was watching. Shaiko WTF in chat. I mean, how often do you see an ace swinging janitors 30 seconds into the round?
I feel like we're missing some pressure there, right? Like he walks in, it was good, but there was no pressure. Windows were closed, no noise being generated, so I think they hurt him at the last second.
Oh, that's a kill. 3v for Stompin. Shoot the bananas. Glass's favorite thing to do. In go the Candelas. They're all filed in. It's a spam attack. As Alamau's forcing down that plan with the blitz. There's seemingly no denial. No C4s on the board for Falcons. They don't know where this plant is happening. Did they even know that a plan was happening? Now Alamau has a license to go deep. He's found a hell of a lot of kills. Stompin steals it from him. Solotov 1v4. There's players on the rappel. Doki finds it with the Ying from that rappel position. And it's beautiful from G2. Despite losing Loira early, it didn't matter. The spam plant worked to perfection.
Yeah, I think that's what we call a 4+1 strat, where you have one person that you don't really need for the strat, go crazy, do something on your own. That was Loira. If he gets that kill, amazing. The round is almost a guaranteed flawless victory, right? If he dies, it's still okay. We still have the main strat at hand. And also, I will say, Loira's death got information on 2 or 3 defenders. He saw the mirror janitors, he might have seen the guy meeting by the rotate, and he also got shot at from behind by the soda machine next to janitor's door. So Loira actually got a ton of info from that play, despite it not working out. And when you bring the glass into that round, there's no warden, there's no real counterplay. You saw the value. No one dared swing any angles because it's all smoked off, and if you try, you know you're gonna die. You don't have a counter to the glass on the window repels. You didn't have a C4 for planting in the right position, and with that, they just plant for free. The round is over. G2, funny enough, are calling their tactical timeout despite winning 2 rounds in a row, and that last one looking very good. Curious, but I kind of like it, you know? This could be a change up, it could be a pocket strat, it could be someone from the supportive staff maybe figure out a big weakness here from Falcons.
Yeah, so typically you want to keep that momentum for your team if they've just won a couple of rounds in the row. Of course, Falcons won 3 in a row before G2 finally started bringing it on back. The thing is, there aren't many, isn't much room for error here for G2, right? They're down 5-4. One more round for Falcons and it's map point. G2 know that they can get it done on Bank after a very convincing win on Cafe. Bank is a map that they've beaten Falcons on before, just 2 weeks ago. Looking fired up. Now they're figuring out, okay, well, basement is now unlocked for Falcons. It's been 2 rounds since they won it. We haven't yet cracked this bomb site today. So what can we do? What are we going to cook for it? If we look back last time that these teams played each other, G2 actually won 2 of the 3 times that they attacked this bomb site downstairs. And that goes to show that they seriously know how to cook on these basement attacks. Falcons may well have worked on a lot in the last 2 weeks. G2 now cooking something a little bit different, something a little bit new.
We kind of touched upon this on Cafe, right? Falcons, they play, by my count, very logical siege in the best of ways, right? What they do makes sense. When G2 or their opponent plays a logical round of siege, Falcons can pick it apart, counterplay it, and just win. They can beat them. When G2 start doing the funky stuff, which they're doing right now, it's a lot hard to call correctly. Blitz is in, Fenrir. I mean, you're gonna drop it. You have no choice here, buddy. Either you drop or you die. Quick map control. What's next? Elevators. Is there a guy in here? Let's go check, James. Let's find out.
Let's go find out. There he is.
Risky.
Oh, he might even find the kill. No way! How does he win that?
Disgusting.
Solotov, you've got the Vector for God's sake. How are you not killing this blitz? The flash didn't even get him. Oh, that's an embarrassment for Solotov. And that's a huge kill for Alamau. He's got to be seething confidence at the moment. 14 and 5. He's on that blitz.
Reload.
nothing more terrifying than a blitz with confidence.
I'm just saying, if Lawyer was Goyo, he gets that kill. All I'm saying, okay? Alama, you're right though. When he's fired up, when he's confident and he's flying in the building, that is when I believe he's at his best. Because now he's leading from the front, not leading from the back. And you get that full intel on the entry to call the people around you to do what you need to be done.
It's forcing aggression from Falcons. Look at the way they're all peeking these hatches. They know that they need to find a kill back. Otherwise, especially with the amount of execute util here, I mean, Blitz, Sens, Ying, Grim. It's 4 out of 5 operators for G2 that specialize in these executes.
Not only that, but also I think Falcons are expecting something weird to happen because again, this is illogical siege. Any moment could be the last moment of this round. Is this a fake Candela? Is it the real Candela? Are they gonna drop? Yes, they are.
Oh, good Nitro Cell, and that will delete the Blitz from the server. Big kill for users as well. That's the positioning we needed from the Warden. The one operator that would completely dismantle that G2 attack. And he was in the perfect position. Out goes the Sens as Doki has found his way directly into the bomb site. We'll say thank you very much for this. I've got a nice shield I can play off of. Leak effect though, aware of that position. Stompin has to lock users out of it. He spots the Warden. And so G2 know where both of these Falcons players are. Doki trying to relocate into the A bomb site, get that diffuser back again. It's over near the server door where his teammate died.
That's cheeky.
Now Doki has it. This is perfect. Stompin, all he needs to do is cover, and he can lock this into. He misses the player. He finds one. He has to call for Doki to get off the plant. There is time to work with.
1v1.
But Lakerfax threads the needle. He just needs the one kill. Is Stompin there? Is Stompin ready to go for it? Lakerfax gets caught. He gets caught and Stompin punishes him for it. G2 have run it back and we're tied up. It's 5-5 neck and neck for G2 and Falcons.
Imagine there's no deployable shield in the hallway. Miss input. I mean, you probably play this map, this bomb site so many times, right? And in most of those rounds, there might not be a shield right there. But in this specific circumstance, there was a shield and he sprints straight into it, not realizing it cost him a valuable second. That 1 second where Stompin gets the angle, gets the kill. I want to say I loved how Doki and Stompin played the 2v2. The positioning, covering each other. It was very clear from a top-down perspective how they were trying to problem solve that round. Yes, the smoke sprints straight past Stompin's crosshair and he doesn't get the kill, but you saw what they were trying to do. It was so good. Falcons, they did a great job at stopping that initial push. The C4, the Warden gets a kill through the smoke. That's 2 kills. The Goya Fire got a kill off screen as well. They stopped everything. But G2 got that 1B bomb site in control with Doki sitting at the shield. And that got them enough time to reset, stabilize, and somehow win the round.
And this is perfectly read by users. I mean, you see it picture perfect right here. The Ying, the Blitz. What's their perfect counter with the smokes and the flashes? That Warden. So frustrating. And Stompin had no way to get that diffuser. The only way he wins that is by taking the fight.
Yeah.
Wall is done.
Frustrating way for it to play out for Falcons. They'd be on map point right now.
Throwing a dread mine.
G2 are oh so close to that crown. 2 more rounds. That's all it takes.
Speak of waking up and also getting back into it, Stompin, who had a quiet first half here, starting on defense, going I think 1-5 or 0-5, is 7-7 now, winning that last round in the clutch, being there in the fray, in the gunfights, on the entry, getting the job done once again. Now we see G2 keeping up this kind of irregular gameplay where Falcons are not going to know what's to come next. Is it going to be a rush? Going to be a sneak attempt? Is it going to be a stable, normal round of siege? They need to be prepared for anything. And every second, they jump out here with a shotgun. I think so, James.
Oh, no!
Does he get away though? I don't think so. He's right.
I mean, it's CJX. You can't be jumping out windows like that, right? There is a trade, but it was the smoke to go down. I mean, very big risk there from Leak Effect. I guess you've taken down the primary vert operator here for G2.
Yeah, also the top fragger in League Effect. I mean, I think it's worth for G2 to get this trade. League Effect 11 and 10 playing smoke for Blast 2 and 8 playing Ram. it's like the best performing player statistically versus the worst. Yes, the Ram is useful, but look at Ace and Ash. They both have soft breaching charges. They can do the same vertical destruction as the Ram if they use all 6 of those upstairs. So Lance's job is still doable. The only one that can do like proper plant deny or stalling timeout is the smoke from Leak Effect, who's dead. So it's a unique operator that can only do that job versus an operator that can be replaced by secondary utility. And G2 got half the round to work with, getting a ton of value off the Twitch drones. They found, I believe, 2 Val cameras. At the very least, they've got 1. And no one's really doing much right now. They're just droning, scouting, mapping it all out for the next minute to come.
It's Pacey from Alamo on the top floor. Oh, here we go, Doki. Oh, red by Solotov. That could be a decisive kill for this round.
It's a tough one because Doki was so committed to that garage push that either he goes up that staircase and risks dying, which is what happened, or he spends 30 seconds walking back out and going into lobby, and you know, he might as well attempt it now that he's there. But it does mean G2 playing from behind once more. Solotov gets found by EML, back on even 3-3. 50 seconds to go. G2 don't have a clear way to execute, but these Selmas on the primary wall of bottom square will certainly help out.
What is that swing, Greeday? It's a gift to G2. A gift they didn't ask for, but they will take nonetheless. And now Shaiko's the last one left. Blaz can barely believe it. Alamo is gobsmacked. G2 are just 1 round away from a 2-0 in the grand final of EML.
There's 2 rounds that you wanted to look back upon for Falcons to say, where did it all go wrong? It might be back-to-back right now. That basement 1v1 sprinting into a deployable shield that you didn't realize was there, followed by this round where you're 4 versus 3, and now you're just throwing your bodies around or away, no crossfire, not playing by the bomb side, not utilizing the fact that G2 had limited resources, limited time, and limited information. At least from my perspective, that bomb site looked mighty fine. Fortified, good crossfire, man advantage. All those Selma charges, by the way, were at like vault angle. So yes, even if the wall gets opened up, there's no way in unless you vault through, which you all know. It's a death sentence to vault through a breach onto bomb site. It's not gonna work. Huge round.
Oh, look at Doki. I just cannot wait to see this roster play in a LAN environment. I cannot wait to see all of these 5 players in the same room. The energy is electric. G2, when everything was going against them, they continued fighting. Through everything that this roster's been through, complacency, roster changes, turbulence in their coaching staff, and now finally dawning what could be the next iteration of a championship-winning roster with Stompin in tow. And yeah, he might have had a bit of a quiet map here, but he certainly made his mark and earned his slot in EML and in a championship contending roster. Doki, the first one in the building. League of Fact finds one for Falcons. Solotov, though, needs to be careful because Doki's come hunting and he's hit double digits here. G2 equalize.
Doki's looking for more again, expecting the unexpected, checking all the corners, the angles, the rat positions. Falcons do this thing where they fight early, they trade 1 for 1, then they peel off, and then they either will lash out again, or they will fall back all the way to that basement bomb site. They got good plant now, right? They got smoke to Shanga and a Warden with a C4. I think Falcons are very happy with this, but Laura's doing something that is high value. Getting control of a garage with a DMR. No one really contesting him. They're still each I think they see each other. Shaiko wins the gunfight. That's huge for Falcons. That right there gives them a lot of map space to work with by the bomb site. G2 cannot afford to send a second player to try that again. So it's time to plan C. Plan A doesn't work. Plan B doesn't work. It's time to get crazy with it. Drop down the hatch, walk down the staircase, go for a kill. Because a plan surely is not going to be doable.
Yeah, but when it comes to Plan C, when it comes to bringing something out of nothing, G2, well, that's their specialty. A pivot over for Doki to going in garage, but Shaiko deletes him. Alamo trades it. Everyone from G2 committed to the bit. They're going for garage, they're going for broke.
I said a second player couldn't be afforded. Oh, I was so wrong about that, but this is the awkward stage. 2v3 with attackers on 2 separate isolated areas. Stomping approaching server by the bomb site door. And of course, Alemão and Garage deep has forward doors, can close the angles off, but they cannot really help each other.
The fire locks out. Stomping from the side. Alemão has to go deep. He's the one with that diffuser. He finds Brede.
Where are they?
And now he has the bomb site. Users has gone upstairs. Or Leakafak, one of them has left the bomb site. It's Leakafak, the smoke player, and Stompin has been found. But guess what? The Rayora pick from Alemão may net him a gift. A second shot likely to come through here after the C4. Block the first one. It's a clutch opportunity for the captain of G2. As a drop from Leakafak comes down, slaps him in the face. Overtime is needed. Falcons continue fighting. G2 will not have their crown just yet.
Oh, gotta hold on for now. Leakafak, arguably the best person from Falcons to be alive in that moment. Ice cold, stayed calm, and again, played the round out the way he should. Wait for the right timing. Go for the swing. Shotgun close quarters. It's a guaranteed win for him. A back and forth this is. I love the use of Aurora. We don't see it all that often, but there was a plan in action there. Stompin found himself injured from the hatch up above. Very risky playing there from Falcons, right? It's 3 versus 2. There's a Shanghai behind the deployable shield, firing off the server door where Stompin was entering from. They had the Warden, I believe, deep inside on gold, holding what looked like no angle at all. Then Leakafak flanking into open area. You see the Shanghai, he's pre-firing the complete wrong angle.
Such a needed clutch up from Leakafak there. Alemão was so close. Now, last time we saw Bank from G2 against Falcons, it was Stompin hitting 20 kills. Looks very likely that Alemão is the one to do it today. 18-7 at the moment as he switches onto that blitz in the repick phase.
Ooh.
What are G2 cooking here?
The thing about the blitz that is so great is it's such a flexible operator. You can go passive, you can go for a plant, you can work more like as a drone, you can be an entry, you can go for a rush.
Camera in position.
The Falcons kind of sloppily placed to Overwatch lobby. Location won't matter all that much because IQ's on the board for Doki, so it will be found most likely. The great thing about Twitch and IQ combination is that IQ can find the Valcam, and then if it's in a tricky spot, Twitch can of course just drone it out, take it out. We're gonna rappel on in. Where is Alemão going right now? Archives, okay.
This is a very fast Archives entry. He sees one player, almost loses his life as well. This could be very deadly for G2 though. If Alemão falls early here, alone on an island, they know where he is. He's aggressive, he's spraying. They could 2-team him here.
Changing that.
Interesting.
Where's the rest of his team?
There's a lot of respect here from Falcon.
No way.
There are 3 people here, by the way, and they're running away from the blitz. And somehow, Alemão still finds a kill. Are they scared? And about 19 kills now. Selma's going off. Heartbeat is done. A defender stuck on server stairs.
Oh no, Doki. Doki's on the money here. He's got the perfect weapon in the perfect position to take down Brede. The key player on site. Nate goes out, doesn't land. Blaz finds his. It's obliteration on the bomb site for Falcons. Shaco's the last man standing. And I think a year of Falcons dominance is about to come to an end. It's Shaco against 3. Stompin low on HP. As finally, Doki is finished off. Loira and Blaz and Stompin together need to piece this round up. 1 minute remains. As Shaco, he sees the head and he swipes the round clean of Loira. 1v2, plenty of time to work with, but there's info. That Valkyrie camera, the pings. He knows exactly where Stompin and Blaz are. All he has to do is wait. We've seen some notable clutches in this Kansan position before. In open area. And it's Shaco after all. Of course it's Shaco. And he spots the player, spots the drone.
Good flash.
Flash comes out, it's perfect. He lands square in his face. He still finds one. But he gets traded back again. And the round is 1 for G2. It's another match point and championship point.
Talk about confidence. The Valcam bottom square, spotting the attackers for like 60 seconds straight, non-stop. Ding! Ding, ding. It's all I heard. They didn't even look for it. They were just droning the bomb site. No time to waste. They had to find Shaiko, flash him, and take him out. It didn't matter if he knew where one attacker was coming from. It's quite predictable regardless. But still, that was full info for Falcons. And they still didn't look very good until Shaiko showed up at the very end. I still can't believe that LML runs in, nearsighted by a Fenrir mine, into 3 defenders and they're all running away. Tail between their legs. And still he gets a kill to Solotov, who I guess tried to go for a gunfight at some point afterwards, off camera. 19 kills for LML. Looking mighty fine so far here on Bank.
He's heading the 20 bomb. There's no way LML does not hit the 20 bomb.
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Is it this round or it'll be next round? Looking at how this series has been going so far, I feel like there might be a next round, teams. I feel like a 7-7 is on the cards for us.
It feels like a hell of a long time since we saw Falcons on that attacking half, but they did pretty well there. They won 3 on that half, and well, it was also 2 in a row at the end of that half. G2, it took them a little bit longer to find their momentum on that attacking side. Falcons looked pretty all right from the get-go compared to Cafe, absolutely.
Much better. I mean, it was the first shot even to Falcons, 4 straight for G2, and then overtime activated in that final regulation going 6-6. So yeah. Now Falcons, you're on this attacking side again. It's been a while. What do you want to achieve right now? Of course, you gotta do the basics, drone, get in the building. The bug below, I'm quite a fan of, although bug is not gonna be below much longer. Looking like it was gonna go up the main stairs a second, but we'll change his approach instead as 2 different defenders are getting ready for a gunfight. But you can bug below janitors. It's a different way to deal with that position. Of course, Captain Fire is good as well. Falcons, when they attacked this bomb site previously, they had like 3-4 people on the rappel, and they struggled to get in the building. They struggled to find the first pick. Been the same story so far in this round. So, the Ash Charge rather goes out and clears that first double castle window.
Stuff for info though, new jammer. Makes things a bit more challenging for Falcons. Oh, here comes the fire. Caught by the magnet. It's perfect. Both of them are getting caught. So there's no way to deny this position except for that buck down below, as you said. Alamau is in a bit of an awkward spot. I think he's about to feel a bit of pressure.
Good read.
In fact, though, is worried. Great read onto the newbie. As Stompin goes down, he'll sit out the rest of this round and watch his team in anticipation. As Likafak is anticipating a flank of his own. Alamau eventually finds him through the floorboards. It's much needed for G2. As Shaiko at the top of the square has dominated his position. G2 are falling behind. Falcons are just waiting for their moment.
Time though, 45 seconds. How much can you wait? They're expecting G2 to overstep right now and get caught off guard, but they're sitting, sheltered roles, not overcommitting, not overstepping. They're waiting for Falcons to make the first move. They feel like they're still in control.
Oh, Falcons. This is how you get it done. Oh, Doki reads the Spider-Man, but he's got to worry about this castle barricade. Takes it down, and he is shut down. Alamau's found 20. Can he make it 23? Clutch up with 15 seconds. Oh. There's his 21st. Traded back by Solotov. We're going the distance here on Bank, as we knew we would, as we always should. Of course, it wouldn't be Falcons v G2 without a serious match on our hands. And Falcons pushing it into ultimate overtime. The next step before them is to push it to a 3rd map.
7-7, just the way it was meant to be. A rematch down to the round of the previous time they faced each other. Also, of course, on Bank. Both teams going deep into the strat pool. Small adaptations, small counterplays. I mean, look at that last round. They both read each other so well. G2 bringing Wamai plus Jaeger to counter the Capitao or any sort of smoke grenades or frag grenades from the window rappels. Meanwhile, bot going downstairs for verticality. It's so well done by both teams, reading each other round by round. The Falcons will go upstairs on their defensive round on CEO. Now G2, they gotta get one more pocket strat, one more way to catch Falcons by surprise. and play one more round of that unpredictable siege to get their final victory. Now G2 wins, that's it, 2-0, good night. If Falcons wins, of course, a third map is needed. If we're to go there, it's Consulate. And with how both these two maps have played out, I am all the more excited for the third one. Take us all the way. Well, mind you, Falcons played earlier today against Secret. For them, it's been a long one. For G2, they're just getting started.
Well, I'm sure the Falcons are thankful that the Secret match ended up as a 2-mapper, and a pretty convincing one at that. It's been a long time since that match as well. What time is it now? It's nearly 7 AM here. That match happened at 11 PM last night my time, so it's been quite a long time. Falcons have been playing, resting, playing again now. It seems only fitting, though, that Falcons should be able to push this the distance after the match 2 weeks ago, where they just could not get it done on Bank. But look at the way G2 are cooking this. Out goes the baby EMPs. The fire is going to follow. They might actually find the angle. Alamau, he finds that pick that he's been looking for, and it's Leakafak. That's the most deadly player that Falcons have to offer.
It's a tough position, right? Leakafak, the captain, the agile, the leadership figure, dead on 7-7, can only help his team from the grave. Now you got Yokai, so there is some information. You got a little bit of camera, so there's more as well. But he cannot get a kill, he cannot make a play, and Leakafak has been so important for Falcons in the late stage of a round. On defense, when Leakafak is one of the last 2 defenders alive, they have a much better chance at winning than when he is dead early.
Yeah.
But this is the team that's set. Half the round to go, 5v4, G2 making an advancement.
And so up he goes. Alamau, 22 kills to his name. Shaiko finds the first for Falcons. Alamau caught.
Oh, the swing.
Needs to pull this out. Oh, it's a big from Shaiko! Nuclear swing! 3 kills for Shaiko. The Frenchman finally feeling his momentum. Loira and Blaz now in the 2v3, but Bride is so lit. Shaiko's on fire though, and these two G2 players are very separated.
So yellow ping from Alamau. I think it was telling Doki, hey, watch the hallway. Doki, too late to react. Shaiko finds the double. Is swing out here aggressively. Blaz, if you win this gunfight, you gotta weigh in, buddy. Oh, he loses out.
No! Solotov's got him dead to rights, and Loira cannot withstand Shaiko. The Frenchman 4Ks to send us the distance. And there's no way we weren't getting to a grand final without the third map. Consulate awaits to determine the championship of EML. Falcons have crafted over Europe for the last 12 months or more. Or will it be G2, a third era, a resurgence of this old name with new faces and young talent? Which will take the crown today in Europe?
Falcons on the attack and G2 on defense. Now, that is... Actually, no. I'm not going to say anything. I feel like in a lot of games, the starting side matters quite a lot. Defender favorite, attacker favorite. For this particular best of 3, I don't think it's been relevant enough to really talk about, because both teams have been good on both sides. It comes down to how they're playing in every single round. Operator bans, a Sami and the Mira. Mira having practically 0 presence of play so far in this best of 3, and Ace and Hibana double hard breach following through.
Yeah, more hard breach bans here. We didn't see that much on Bank, but last time these teams played Bank in that massive 15-rounder 2 weeks ago, it was all hard breach bans from Falcons.
Yeah.
We're really trying to get more of that. We saw that a lot as well earlier today. Falcons had a lot of that hard breach against Team Secret, and it worked really well. Secret struggled when it came to those impact tricks where they didn't have a lot of hard breach available. Now Falcons themselves will have to show what they can do when really all they've got is the Thermite and the Maverick and Tin Can openers.
Because thankfully on Consulate, it's not as hard destruction focused as some other maps are, so I think that what they have as backups is going to be fine, like you said. Maverick, can openers, Thermite, like that's completely fine for them. And it also means that there's a lot of utility being left open for Falcons, whether it's the Shield, or the Ying, or the Grim, or the Deimos, and the Sense, or the Nomad. Like, they can pick, don't get be like, there's so many good attacking operators. Doki, cheeky spawn pick your nap inside. Looking to get aggressive, doesn't find anything, but this does slow down the attackers just a little bit. You gotta watch the windows, watch the doors. Nothing worse than dying before you leave spawn. And nade from Shaiko goes on the yellow scout to clear some utility, like the aggressive minus some barbed wire to set up that potential drop down later on.
So what's the cook here from Falcons? What's the intention with the Sens? That's my big question. The Sens is the one operator in this lineup where I'm like, well, if you've got that, you've got a specific idea. Is it going to be a CEO or an admin style take? Because G2 currently have presence all over. Yeah. Doki is the player sussing out the admin side, figuring out, okay, well, they are going to push from here. Okay, three players on this admin side.
I do like the sense for admin, though, to cut off the crossfires, to set up a plant later on, get a bit more map to work with. CEO is all about the window rappel, yellow skylight, sense not as impactful, one could argue. Now as G2, they're giving up admin control. Falcons take it for free, but it has stalled a little bit of time. Most notably, we see a Loira on the Ella. Those Grismot mines will come into play later on as Falcons approach the bomb site and the more important parts of the map. But this is where soon I see Sense come to play. You can cut off the person playing by soda machine. You can close off meeting door, deny any visual confirmation of what's happening, and not allow the defenders to have a crossfire. Then you have Grim on the meeting breach outside, who can just red ping spam those Grim beats all over the meeting room as well. And all of a sudden with that, Falcons have a lot of intel to work with, and of course intel deny.
So Shaco will target Stompen. Yeah, it's like they can't decide how they want to execute it. Looks like it's going to be yellow.
They might try and fake it, like they go admin but hit this yellow skylight, but the thing is Animal is right below it. He's going to get freebies here.
Yeah, I think that they've read this. Ooh, he gets hit for a brief moment. He actually gets caught on his retreat as well. Falcons, this plan, this cheeky little idea may have worked out, especially if users can go big for a double on the side and CEO. All up to Stomper now, and he's trapped inside a meeting. Predae's got him locked on down, but he swipes and finds the headshot. It's Shaco versus Stompen. It's a big 2K for the young gunner. Oh, he shipped them back to France with that shot. A massive clutch from the American. And G2 out of nowhere steal that round from Falcons.
Must have been some misinformation, or perhaps Shaco thinking surely Stumble will run away towards the mute jammer somewhere else, either deep by the breach or by the meeting door. I can sprint on in and pick up the diffuser for free. If he waits 1 second longer for Shaco there, he will see the track come through and then he can play it out differently. Stumbin stuck in a corner, somehow he finds both. Not sure how that happens, but G2, they hold on strong. I like the fake there from Falcons because one of the big things about Consulate on the attacking side is once you commit to either admin or CEO, yellow or admin rather, you're kind of locked into the choice because rotating takes a long time, it's very noisy on the rappels, but they did it pretty well. Apply a lot of pressure admin, contest meeting, they're on the breach outside, green beats are going out, double yellow skylight drop with a player on CEO rappel, and they get in. They got the opening. They caught Anima looking in the wrong direction. Just comes down to clutch factor. And in that round, Stompin, too good. 4 kills, despite playing SMG11, you know, from far away.
So you can't count out Stompin.
Reloading.
Never can.
Can't believe that. 4K on the round. All right, Falcons. Top floor, you had a nice idea. What are you going to do on this next bomb site?
Just drone, you figure it out. Anybody ratting here? Well, there's one. Alamal playing by what we used to call Baguette. Here on Consulate is the OG call. It's this big area between bathroom, CEO, and top spiral. Used to be a French flag on the mini dead table before the rework. And people called it like French or Baguette or whatever. Some fun stories behind some of these callouts, which now don't make a lot of sense, I guess. Down the yellow scarlet, Brady goes in the bits. Clears the barbed wire, runs down, sees a player. Hello.
Hello. It feels appropriate to call it Baguette when there's a whole bunch of French players jumping down it. Shaco finding a kill like that. Look, he goes in. Bride does get the big frag. Back again, but Doki punishes the blitz for aiming down his sights. We restabilize. It's a 3-on-3. Loira in a good position. I think EFAC knows where he is. No, actually, I think he's targeting a different player.
Yeah.
This could be a bait here. EFAC is worried about Stompin. Meanwhile, Loira may remain undetected. Doki's actually going for a flank back upstairs. He'll be detected on his way back down by the Lion. That means all the G2 players are actually off-site at the moment.
Good play from Dogi falling back. If he falls, so does the bomb side. G2 in a tough spot. Do they retake top floor? Do they try and bait Laura a free kill here on top spiral? Does Laura swing? Yes, he does. Oh! Stomping actually, sorry.
Now him and Laura together can look to retake. They have numbers advantage. Uses. He only knows about the one player. He doesn't know this is a 1 versus 2. However, they have fallen back. G2 consolidate their advantage now. 45 seconds means there's time to work with here for Falcons.
It's the last Candela though, and no Grim B, so it's gun blazing in the hallway. 2 people working together. Uses barely even hand against the first one. Crossfire from G2.
Good read. But there's still a decent amount of time here to work with. This isn't desperate. The close range angle from Doki. Yeah. Nah, there's no choices. That's the problem. And no util. Wow. That's quite a swing. The player down. Loira. Now he knows where the last one is. It's a pure 1v1. Deagle comes out. What? That is crazy play from Loira. Very ambitious, and he gets punished for it. Falcons. A good round from them. Very much back and forth. Very much set. The pace was by G2, especially in the end there.
It's another one of those cases where, guess what happens next? I mean, it's a 2v2. G2 had a crossfire, a player in piano, and a player by the benches. But then, first the Legion swings, trade injures, and then second player, Laura, has to come over, confirm the kill, sees or hears the Ying shooting at him, falls back towards the bomb site, whips out the Deagle and sprints at him in the 1v1 with like 15 seconds left in the round. Not what I thought was gonna happen. See here, give up the crossfire, trade, and then just, I'm gonna Deagle swing you.
It's the G2 mentality though, like they just think they are better. Like you said, like Doki gave up his crossfire to swing with the shotgun. I mean, he's lucky he even got the down. That was such an unfavored fight. Both of those engagements were for G2.
That specific moment is what before this entire best of 3 started, I mentioned how if the troll G2 shows up, I see Falcons having a really good shot at winning. That's a troll G2 round. That's kind of like the last 2 years of, not winning the European Pro League, not getting far enough internationally. That's the kind of rounds they would have at a pretty frequent level, and it would make a break a difference, right? In the best of 1, if you throw 2 or 3 rounds, big deal. G2 have played so good all tonight.
Oh, I like this. Oh, never mind.
I don't like it.
I like the idea, I do not like the execution.
There it is, that's how it's said. But that is probably one of the very first and only troll rounds from G2 in this entire best of 3, and they really cleaned up their act and consistency. It shows. Falcons still, of course, they do get the round. The C4 spit on Valkyrie Stumpin. 3 more in pocket of other players. So Breedy has to be careful on the Monty not to fall to a C4 that lands in a funky spot behind him, on top of him. Can be a bit tricky at times playing the Monty, dealing with that many throwables.
Yeah, a lot of nitros. Blaz should know where this push is coming from though. He's on that pulse, he's about to spot 1 and 2.
Donk, donk.
And so it goes on out, and the breach comes through here. Falcons can start to mount their attack. Very rarely do we see purely archives attacks on Consulate, but Falcons are very much mounting their pressure from this side. G2 certainly know about it. What are they going to do about it?
Really good they have the pulse, because right now, for all they know, it could just be a Monty, right? Very loud. But they can steal the pulse, get at least 2 attackers in the same spot. They know something's up.
C4
EP
prep.
goes out, planting. They caught the C4.
Wow, that EMP is so perfect. Another C4 comes out though, denies the plan. That could be enough to solidify the round for G2. It's tough now for Falcons to get back into it, especially with Loira doing that. Good trade.
Oh my
God. Not going to be enough though. Stompin finds Shaiko back again, uses 1v5. Loira on the floor. Stompin! Another big headshot for Stompin. He's in form, back into it on Consulate after a bit of a quiet bank. And G2, as you said, Pengu, it is a flawless round, 2-1 up.
It's a coin flip round for Falcons. Either they will win flawlessly or they will lose in a struggle. basically what they're going for there is it's a one attempt strat, right? You're planning with Monty, you're spamming EMPs, and if you catch the C4s and they don't get to explode, you plant and you very likely win. You have a very strong post plant vertically inside of Visa later in the round, or of course from the breach downstairs. The first C4 did get EMP'd, the second C4 did not get EMP'd, and then Monty goes down. I like the attempt here. C4 came out like half a second or 1 second flat after the EMP exploded, and it is successful. The poles, of course, being impeded means they don't know exactly how many attackers were there, but because they denied the plant from going down by injuring the Monty, it doesn't matter how many people they're up against. The round strategically is over Falcons, they gotta go for broke, walk in the door, go for kills, and of course G2 had more guns in that exact direction. They locked them out completely. I like that Falcons are trying to go for that, trying to control and set the pace against G2, because they've been bullied a lot of rounds by G2, especially on Cafe, where they're being run over by the aggression of G2 are attacking. Falcons kind of giving that medicine back, or at least they're trying to.
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
Again, it's a very mobile defensive lineup here for G2. I feel like this is just normal at this point. You got your Ella, your Mozzie, your Legion, and then a little bit of util. Smoking Kaid. Speaking of, Blaz wants to try and juggle this back wall. Not a lot of redundancy in hard breach here. It's just Burrito on the thermite, and then the 2 tin can openers on Leaky.
Yeah, Sophia again, that's changed not that long ago, losing the soft breaching charges, but getting the hard breaching charges instead. She's now more of a, I guess, a little bit more of a supportive operator now than a...
She's already slow.
Yeah, she's a 1-speed. Not too happy about that, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like 1-speed should be a thing of the past, unless you're a shield operator. It's time to make us globally 2-2 or something like that, with some exceptions, but...
I'm on board for that one. I'm the kind of guy that I just cannot bring myself to play a 1-speed operator.
Yeah, it just feels very sluggish and slow. Kite Claw, window swing from Stumpin, maybe. Not gonna get over Strellis.
Oh no, the electrical actually did juggle. Perfect timing.
Wow.
I thought he did it a little bit too early and it got zapped, but no, it didn't.
Grenade.
Beautiful stuff from Blaz. He wants to jump in here so badly, does Shaiko. Problem is, there's so many goo mines in the window. There's no way that's going to happen.
Shaiko has been both his grenades destroying one goo mine each, one yellow window or one by the piano closet, so expensive goo mines to clear, I would argue.
A lot of this round has gone by us, Pengu, and not a lot of progress has been made here by Falcons.
Tracker on hostile.
What's the way in? I mean, this is Consulate in a nutshell. It can be hard to get a foot in the door. There we go. League Effect and Visa. Roamer next to him, being called by Doki should be a freebie.
This is the opening that they've been looking for. Shaiko wants to finally put this Legion in the dirt, but Doki gets the better of him on the duel. 3v3, Doki hungry for more. League Effect low HP, but so's Doki. League Effect's actually going to run away. Falcons. Time is ticking away. It's desperate now. On the backstab, Alamau goes down. Good trade from Blaz. Doki needs to get back to site. But Usus is getting close. He's got the info. This info as well from the downed Alamau, who can call out the positions on the audio of these 2 remaining attackers. Frida has got the angle. Blaz has got the shots. Another for Blaz. Big round from him as well. Starts it off with juggling the exothermic, and then does even more in the end round with that slug shotty. It's a big start here on the defense for G2. They're up 3-1.
That was ridiculous. I mean, Blast was what I looked like 20, 30 health going into that final gunfight with the Hibana. I thought 1 bullet injured, but no, he stays alive, tanks 1 bullet, gets both kills. Falcons were in a spot where they didn't have an easy way in, and they were forced to take 1v1 gunfights, right? Doki and Piano Closet the entire round, by the way, only had to fight Shaiku on the demos. There was no follow-up player. Doki was fine. League Effect had that long line of sight from Taylors on the softball from lobby, but after exchanging a few bullets, League Effect runs away, hits the side instead. It looked like a good backstab. He got the first injury onto Alamau, but the real problem was Blast with the TCSG just ripping through them. Tactical timeout from Falcons is needed. I think mentally right now, I don't think there's any cause for concern for Falcons because they've shown so much discipline and so much stability mentally on the player cams. They haven't looked like they're crashing out or anything like that. But right now, just guys, what's the game plan again? What are we doing? How are we gonna do it? We got 2 more attacking rounds. We need to be able to enter the building.
Yeah, tactical timeout for Falcons, right? So G2, of course, have the ability to use that as well. Server, archives, and cafeteria garage, pardon me, are both locked. So they could go back to first floor expo, which is the one they lost, or they could go all the way back to the top floor, which is what they elect to do in this case. This bomb site was a curious round. It only came down to that 1v2 clutch from Stompen, which is probably why G2 decided to do a round the world tour, go to every other bomb site before returning here, despite winning it on their first attempt. They know that Falcons have cooked up a lot of strats here.
Oh, the spawned. Oh my days. With the Ella Scorpion. Well, what better way to start a round after calling a tactical timeout to get spawn peed and then call the bot?
Wow.
Ouch.
These players have been getting very lippy in the all chat.
Now Falcons, I mean, look at this. Blitz ADSing the main door, expecting like an impact grenade run out. They're like, okay, G2 are doing silly stuff. They're back to doing that like before. And they're paying so much respect towards it. Almost too much, I would say. And the funny thing is, look at G2's lineup. Smoke, Tashanga, Clash. It's the opposite of spawn peeking. It's the opposite of doing silly stuff. But they've done it once, they got their winning pick, now they can play it with the numbers advantage, fall back by the bomb site. As long as you don't give up any easy kills for Falcons, it's gonna be a struggle to break this apart.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, G2 can poise themselves as if they're playing hyper-aggressive when they have Loira spawn peeking. And they've got a little bit of flexibility. Loira and Stompen can both swing a little bit, but this roster is very much set up to be defensive, to lock things down, to whittle down the timer in the late round, play areas denial, play plant denial, especially if Stompen can keep that C4 alive.
Death mark tracker out.
Here's the track. Targeting the player on top spiral is Loira. And you see Falcons again, like they're in admin, they get the first step, but they can't break past the doorway into all those crossfires, so it's another rotate like before. 2 players on the roof looking for spiral or yellow skylight. But the thing is, G2, this happened previously, they should be aware of this and ready. They got Ella mines, they got 6 pieces of barbed wire, smoke and Tashanga. They can stall any push as long as they're ready for it.
This is such a good read here from G2 as Falcons, their explosion onto site, they're gonna have to clear this barbed wire, and they do. Down they go, Loira finding one, Loira another one! 3 kills before he's put down, it's only Leakafak remaining, and he is quickly dismissed. Fire up for Loira. Big round on the Ella. Alamau, take a big drink, you've earned it. It's a 4-1 lead for G2.
Don't want to get ahead of myself, but I feel like when G2 will go on the attack, I could see them not have this same problem, because if you go back to the way they attacked on Cafe, the very first map in this best of 3, they full commit and they don't care about the outcome. It feels a little bit like watching these rounds that Falcons are too worried about what if it doesn't work. Oh, we don't see a simple way to pick this apart. So they rotate, they go around, they go from top spiral. They had sense, they had blitz. I mean, surely you can sense wall off Loira playing by Soda Machine here. Send in the blitz and 1v1 Loira with a gun behind them. And any people from G2 also get backup, they gotta push through the sense wall. I know there's Toxic Babes and Tashanga and Clash and all these other issues, but I feel like G2 would just full send it and be like, let's just see what happens, guys. And sometimes it works. The rotation hasn't worked.
10 seconds left
They
before
look so
insertion.
locked out from being able to enter the bomb site itself on this top floor. Thankfully though, that was the last time they had to tag it in this half. Now it's down to the final round. See if Falcons get a 2-4, or this will be a 1-5.
1-5 feels like death for Falcons.
It's tough.
Think about
to overcome.
Falcons, I mean, in a way, these teams are kind of polar opposites. I mean, G2 love just on their attacks going full send. Doesn't matter, we'll play into our heroics. I'm happy to 1v3 this angle, whatever. Falcons, they really like to cook. They really like things to make sense. And G2 are happy to just live in chaos. And I think when things start to get dire, when you're down 1-4 on the third map, after barely winning, barely pushing it to a third, I think that's when you start to overcook some of these attacks.
All this pressure being applied again. D2 vertically controlling so much of the map. Lobby, Visa, Piano Closet here, where Solotov is one space bar away from just jumping on in. This would be risky. It would be a direct attack. It could be what they need, but look at G2. They are so ready in the right position to stop them. Yellow Scarlet instead, and down the stairs they go. Not consisting upstairs.
No, they're in fact going to focus much more on the bomb site. They really love these yellow stairs, don't they? Doki's found his entry. He's holding down the fort. The Ella mine is going to make this awkward. Going deep for it. The Ella blind, but might be able to find something. Bride finds him on the retreat. Loira's out of it. The flash is not recharged as of yet, but it doesn't matter because Usus is there to support. Bride's still alive, but damaged and has to pull that goo mine out. He does. Still vertical dominance for G2, and that will net them the kill. Bride's on the floor, finished off by Stompin, who has himself been traded. It falls now to Usus in a 1 versus 2. 1v1. Stompin is still on the floor. It's Alamau to hold off against Usus. That diffuser can be recollected, but where the hell is Alamau? He's over near the yellow stairs. Is he going to go all the way up? He's going to recollect his teammate. No, he's dropping back down again. Usus faked it. And Alamau's going to call his bluff. He falls back, and he hears it once again. Makes noise. It's a game. It's a mind game. The bait, the back and the forth. Stompin'. He can't really do much. It's all on Alamau here. As Usus forces it again. The shotgun bait. He's toying with him. He's playing with him. Usus goes again. It's a trade. A direct trade that leaves Alamau in favor. G2, 5-1 on the half.
Ridiculous. Falcons, they showed so many good things in that round. Most notably, how it started. A 3 versus 1 by benches. The blitz going in, a gun behind him by yellow stairs, and a gun bottom spiral. The Ella was as good as that. Great team play. They walk on in, the verticality becomes a problem because, remind you, they didn't care about top floor. Falcons dropped yellow skylight, they walked down the stairs with all their manpower. They went in spiral window, they walked down spiral staircase. They didn't have any sort of presence upstairs. And G2, they found 3 or 4, well, they had 3 kills off of it. Then Alamau flanking back yellow, injures the blitz. That's the 4th player. Right here. So good. Everyone's involved. You see League Effect turn in the corner. And maybe it was from the basement, but same thing. Great swing time from Alamau here. Good info. And then here, the revive upstairs. Oh, it could have been such an easy win. Comes down to a very intense 1v1 for the trade.
I can't believe that was a trade as well. What a way to lose it there for Falcons. You'd be absolutely gutted knowing that, I mean, I killed him, didn't I?
You did.
I just lost on a technicality. A 5-1 in favor of G2. Alamau put in the old chat there. He said it should be 6-0.
Oh.
It's mental games.
Yeah.
Of course, only round the Falcons have won came down to a 1 versus 1 clutch from Leakerfac. G2 made a statement on their defense, but of course we know Consulate can be a very defender-favored map.
Yeah.
It was you who said it though, Pengu. G2 don't tend to have the same issues as Falcons on their attack. They don't stall out. They either go hard or they go home. They have explosive attacks. They either win very quickly or they fall flat very quickly.
And mind you, when you take that kind of playstyle and recipe and you're up 5-1, you have nothing to lose. You have no reason to be afraid to go in and do something crazy, because if you lose this round, it's just, oh, it's 2-5. Lose that, oh, it's 3-5. Like, we're chilling. There's no problems whatsoever. I guess it should be explained, but the reason why G2 got that round is that if you trade in a 1v1, if the bomb is not planted, then the defenders, they are successful, right? So they get the victory. If the bomb was planted by the Grim and then they trade, the attackers get the round victory, and Falcons would have gotten the round. It's not some coin flip 50-50. It used to be, if you go many years in the past. It's based off whether or not the bomb is down.
Basically,
just in case.
Imagine that the timer hits 0 and whoever would have won wins.
Yeah. Because I'm sure somebody's
A
like,
lot
oh
of
my
value.
god, they got rigged. Falcon should have got this 50-50. No, it's not.
That's just how it is. Cut off here. Oh, Doki. Don't get caught out by Shaiko here. LML's gotten a lot of value out of his Twitch drones on site, dismantled a lot of these mirror windows, spotted a lot of the util. Roam clear has been half and half here for G2.
Yeah.
This is actually probably one of the slowest attacks we've seen out of G2 today.
I think it's a good pace though, because like the Valkyrie, the Capcan, the Kai, like there are a lot of things that are kind of just slowing you down naturally in this round. And also, it's the first round of the half. You gotta feel out what Falcons are trying to accomplish, what playstyle they're opting for. Shaiko finds Doki early on. It's gonna be Ash removed from action. I think before Shet in the chat. Straight to the chat. I don't think they dealt with the mirror windows just yet, so now they need vert control. That's where the fighting happens with Solotov, who's kind of stuck in piano.
He's so dead. Yeah, well played from G2. They work together. They use the crossfires, spray through the soft wall. Solotov's having a really rough game. 1-7, by the way. Not common for him. And so G2 turn their attention to the site. Hatch is open. Mirror's dismantled. The breach is open as well. But Shaiko is still playing aggressively over on the yellow stairs. A C4 doesn't find its mark for Bride. Neither does Shaiko's.
He's running. Oh, okay. He just flew out the door. All right. Didn't see that one coming. And that right there might just give G2 the numbers of engines that they need. They can now overwhelm the bomb site, 4v3, and trade bodies evenly. I don't know if there's any Capcan traps on the bomb site, but that could... Ooh, look at this.
Oh, no. Oh, Blaz, you got to check your corners. Loira, what's going on here, boys? G2, you had the round in the bag. You had the numbers advantage. Big kill for Stompin. 11th. And now he goes for that plant. Alamau has to cover. Bride and Likofak, where are you? There's no diffuser plant as of yet, and Likofak up above finds that denial. It's all that Falcons need. Another sigh of relief for Bride after Falcons find a round win. I'm telling you, Pengu, every time Falcons are losing the game but win a round, the first thing that you see on the player reactions is a huge sigh from Bride.
You've really been taking note of that. I think it's so funny, but it's true. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's what Bride does, man. He's like, oh my god, yes, we won. Oh my god, yes, it's fine. It's over. Some of these rounds, I mean, they're a bit torturous if you're a dead player just watching the action, because there's so many things happening that can be going either way. This right here, if Blaz hears Likofak or checks the corner, that can be a round-defining moment. If Shaiko runs out the door and kills Stumpin, round-defining moment. And there's so many of those. It feels like almost every single round. G2 did show us a slow first attacking round, but I think that's fine. They still, again, got rounds to play with. There's also a basement roam strat, so, I mean, how fast can you really go? Now, they don't have to go fast. This was more of a fun thing where they did it earlier and it worked so well. On the flip side, Falcons might be preparing for it and bringing things that slow the game down because they're playing information game, whether it's the Valkyrie or the Echo now. Melusi Banshees again to slow things down further. Goyo canisters. Falcons got a good amount of utility here to just stop any direct push.
That's what you gotta have. If G2 show the pace that we saw from them on Cafe. Yeah, it feels like a lifetime ago that we had that incredible map of Cafe. Consulate is quite a different beast. And like you said, G2, they've slowed right down. What's the plan this round, though? Teeter on the yellow stairs as a nade clears out some util. Not sure exactly what that got, whether it was Banshees or Mute Jammers or Vulcan canisters from Goyo. But the entry is, oh, there you go. Some Vulcan canisters as the yellow stairs burns, and the entry comes through to admin. Textbook take here for G2 for now.
For now, but oh, there comes the C4. It goes boom, takes down Doki again, dead early. And this position for Solotov, the Soda Machine shield, that's like the biggest obstacle to overcome on the attacking side. Now you're down some grenades, down a player. He's right on the corner. It's a Nook, has to shoot the default cam. No sneaking around right now, but Laura has a good feeling on this one.
Yeah, and he's going to get it right as well. Sees that Warden. Likofak takes out the drone and falls on back just in time to dodge the bullets. So the minigame continues downstairs. I think League of Fact may loiter below for a little bit longer, but doesn't have that nitro anymore, so he may as well move back to side, more or less.
Yeah,
Laz just waiting for an overpeak.
it's not happening though. Disciplined gameplay from Falcons, playing their hard positions. They gotta get those nades active on admin, clear that shield. I think now they have falling back.
Oh, look at that read.
I'm reloading.
The over-aggression.
Exactly what we need to see.
Yellow door last round, Shaika runs out, this time jumps up out the window. Yes, it can work, but you already got the opening pick. League of Fact got Doki. You had the 5 versus 4. You got the bomb side, you got the plant deny. Now it's back to even numbers.
Oh, close with the shotgun though. But Users gets spotted by Loira.
Oh.
He snuck back through the bomb side. He went long desk and now he's got the backstab that might win this round. Falcons, 2 players inside a meeting. Solotov put down, and the last one falls very swiftly. Yeah, give yourself a clap, give yourself a pat on the back, G2. You're 1 round from taking back that crown.
The solo swings from Falcons, I just don't think it's a solution. I'm completely down with like acts of desperation when you have to, but I felt like that round was so stable until the jump out happened. Then Laura finds the gap, they walk in, they plant default, and there's no real way back for Falcons. They don't have the manpower. They used the C4 for a kill earlier. The Yoga drone ineffective or shot, I'm not entirely certain. I want to see them play together. They did it so good in the first 2 maps. Where go back to Cafe on one of the attacking runs, right? League of Fact grenades a guy playing in the pixel corner, then Shaiko swings, gets a free kill. It's those kinds of 2v1 mini games that we need to see from Falcons. Right now we're seeing people going for a 1v1 gunfight without any sort of backup. No other backstab, punishment, verticality, trade, nothing. It's solo aggression. Solo is bad. Especially when you have numbers advantage. Use them. Play the 2v1. Force good gunfights, or wait for G2 to get into a spot where you can take a good gunfight.
And it's heartbreaking with Falcons because Cafe, it was fiery, it was beautiful. G2 in control, but it was incredible siege. Bank was back and forth. It was a bloodbath, and Falcons, damn, they looked good there. Here on Consulate, it doesn't feel like a grand final. This doesn't feel like a serious matchup. G2 is dismissing Falcons. They've run out of gas. They've run out of steam. Where is the fiery Falcons that we saw on Bank? That's a little bit of it. Solotov needs his confidence back. He's been on that breadstick for a hell of a long time. Gets that kill, stomping. Top fragger for G2 is down. But Doki, look at the way he loiters below with this shotgun. He's hungry for something.
No one's quite nearby, and once you leave the staircase, the armor shotgun loses a lot of value. Secondary gotta come into play. A Capcom trap being put down middle of the round.
Logic bomb.
Good info, but G2 can't act upon this because they're so far away from those drones themselves. They're going fishing.
Well, listen out for those logic bombs. Moira. Impeded by a barricade.
Ooh.
He sees that there is one above. Doki needs to take that fight. He's just holding onto the yellow stairs for the majority of the round. That's his job here. Loira now wants to make his way up. He's assisted by Alamau on that one, saying, smoke has been spotted. It's an aggressive play for Alamau. And Blaz finds the opening kill. Oh, Bride. Oh, League of Fact. Oh, no! Another one for Blaz! 1 by 1, Falcons will fall! What can Users and Shaiko pull out of nowhere? When Doki is so close, Alamau has confirmed that kill. Falcons are on their last legs. The shotgun is here. The drop shot likely to come through. Doki just needs it. Users wins it with the bailiff, but he's left all alone. Falcons, they may have just fallen. Unless if Users can pull this out of nowhere. Alamau on the Monty and Loira to support. All they need to do is march on forward. They see him on that drone. The Falcons put all their hopes and dreams on the shoulders of Users. As he reloads that bailiff, he prepares. 40 seconds to play with for G2. How do they play with it? Alamau spots him again. He's on that diffuser. The angle spotted from Loira, who has been phenomenal for G2 in this stage. It's peak form Loira covering as the plan has gone down. Falcons have fallen. It's regicide. crown a new king. The third era of G2 is here. And with new blood and passion reunited, G2 are back where they belong.